It's time for some hostile therapy. And here we are, hostile therapy on Thursday. Mic already. All right. This is hostile therapy with Big Red. How's everybody doing out there?
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, what's going on?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good, very good. Glad to see you for the new year.
Yes. Can we still say Happy New Year? No, right?
We can. People still saying happy holidays, so
Yeah. Happy New Year.
I'm good with that. Is that a Stanley Cup you got in your hand?
No, this is just a regular cup. Not Stanley Cup. Nope. Actually, it says live, laugh, love. That's what I promote.
All right. Well, hopefully that stands the test of time like a Stanley Cup. Love,
Word.
living, and laughing.
I don't know about that. That's
Yeah.
Stanley. They going crazy for them Stanley Cups.
I don't have a Stanley Cup. I got an Arctic Cup. I don't know if that's gonna stand the fire, but it does stay cold all day.
Oh, that's good.
The free promotion for Arctic if they ever want to come on for a sponsor.
Lord Trent, what's up?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
How you been?
I'm good. Hold on. I'm hearing myself too loud. I'm having technical difficulties. But yeah, happy Afro American History Month. Goddamn.
Yeah.
Free
Oh, yeah, it is
Palestine.
February,
They
isn't it?
still not free, huh?
I about to say it is February, isn't it? Dang.
It is February, the MFN first. I'm still getting my African gi together, so I will be on cam in just a moment, so you can see all this splendid Nubianness.
All right. Can't wait.
I'm kind of scared. How much of this African garb you putting on?
I got myself a little dashiki, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just, keeping it nice and kosher because I'm Semitic as well.
Bet to see some Michael Blackson garb on when you come out here too.
I feel like they hate Michael Blackson in Africa. I know they do.
They do. I'm pretty sure they do because he has a fake accent when he does.
I bet you that motherfucker from like Wyoming or some shit for real.
It wouldn't surprise me none.
Y'all trying to say you're not from Africa?
I'm saying I'm an African American and I'm gonna say Michael Blackson not really from Africa. Fuck that nigga.
He ain't
Fuck that cracker.
Lord.
I think he is. His parents might be, but he might be just, he came over and probably got Americanized.
He do one good impersonation and it's an ignorant African. That's it.
It's got him through this far. He's had a career this far.
You say far like you say far like you and Michael Blackson don't get paid the same amount.
Wow. Damn. That's cold.
Damn.
The same though. Come on. That's cold.
Your YouTube channel and Michael Blackson YouTube channel got the same amount of subscribers.
Well, damn.
Michael Blackson has no African diaspora supporters.
That may be true. According to Cat Williams, that is true.
Because Michael Blackson came out of nowhere to say, good of Cat to make fun of the top 10 comedians. And I just had to stop there, Michael Blackson. Because whoever called you a top 10 comedian?
Yeah, I don't remember hearing that at all.
Name a Michael Blackson stand-up special that you did this top 5 for you. Name 3 of his best stand-up specials.
I don't know if he had a stand-up special.
He don't, because don't nobody want to go see Michael Blackson tell no damn joke. Don't nobody want to see him say mother sucker like 57 times.
He did that enough on, what was it, Friday After Next?
Next Friday. The not as great Friday of the 3.
think something got in the background myself. Okay, I'm good. I'm up here now.
Almost done with my
Oh,
beautician.
everything's good now. All right. What's been going on with you, Preezy? What's going on in your world?
What'd you say?
I said, what's been going on with you in your world?
Oh, not much. Just one day at a time. Just did a 360 with my eating habits. Lost like 30 pounds.
It's only January. Dang. You lost
No,
a pound a day.
it was health reasons too. So,
Yeah. You started in January or you started before that?
no, in December.
Oh, December. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
like
still,
the end of December.
that's still a lot though.
Yeah, it's a lot, right? So, started eating more healthier. So, lost a lot of weight.
You're gonna be sagging if you ain't
No,
already sagging.
Congratulations, you
Your
look
no,
great.
pants.
what is sagging? Ain't nobody sagging now. I'm doing my thing, working out, tighten up.
No, I mean clothes. I mean, not
I
body.
didn't get new clothes.
Okay.
It's
Because
on
yeah,
my sagging. No, you got to tighten up. You have to tighten it up. So,
some people still sag with skinny clothes, skinny
oh,
jeans
no,
sagging.
no,
Don't understand how that works, but
oh no. But it was a good change. No more fried foods and
mhm.
more vegetables, more fruits, and no processed meat. So big
You ain't
change.
cut. You still eating some meat though, just not processed.
Oh, I eat
Oh,
chicken
you
and
nasty.
salmon. No pork, no. Well, I didn't eat pork anyway.
Yeah.
No beef.
No pork or no
Just chicken and fish. So yeah.
Okay.
I ain't at the vegan stage yet, but
I ain't either.
I can't do it.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's tough. Not
Man,
saying it can't be done, but right now I'm just, one thing at a time.
I tried that for like maybe 4 or 5 days just to see if I could do it. And maybe I could have broke through if I, continued on that journey. But I was weak too many times. I was weak all day. I had no energy.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
I would have to be like a cow, just lay out the pasture, just eat grass all day to keep energy. But unfortunately, I got responsibilities where cows don't.
Cows got a major responsibility.
We're putting CO2 in the air from all their manure.
I mean, that's one could say that's a large responsibility that goes unthanked. Also, where else would we get our burgers from? You know what I'm saying? That's being being the cattle.
GMO.
You know what I'm saying? Being the literal cattle that gets led to slaughter is a big responsibility.
We got those fake burgers, Impossible Burgers now. So now the cow. Well, I know it ain't gonna happen no time soon. But if it were to happen where no one ate cows anymore, then people would just be hunting cows just for fun.
Nope, not because think about it. In India, they don't eat beef. It's super fucking sacred over there.
Yeah, but we don't hold it sacred here. To see, that's part of their religion. We don't have no religion where we hold cows sacred.
There's something we don't do. Well, no, because that's what Christianity is about. Because Judaism and Islam, they don't eat pork, not because they see the pig as sacred, but because why would you want to eat something that rolls around in its own filth all fucking day? But yeah, in Christianity, we don't really have no meals, baptism, nothing. We don't have no meals that are like, hey, don't eat this because it's God's animal or don't eat this because ew, why are you eating that?
Yeah, but we got people who roll around with their own filth too and date them.
We like that. That's actually a category.
I know, right?
You want to get dark or you want to get XXX.
Yeah, eating ass too. That's another thing. So won't eat pork though.
They'll eat a pig's ass though.
They'll eat a woman's ass too. Won't eat pork. Oh no, I'm healthy. I don't go anything that's dirty and rolls around in the dirt.
Well, you're not supposed to eat seafood either, according to the Bible. You're not supposed to eat lobster and anything that crawls in the bottom of the sea.
Yeah, you're not supposed to eat bottom feeders, but fish
Mhm.
you good. You can eat fish because Jesus is said to be a fisher of men.
Yeah, that's all Old Testament stuff too. And that's all Israelites. That's not supposed to be eating those certain type of things. That didn't go to Gentiles And then plus that's all gone away anyway.
But see, that's why they called them Gentiles, because they was out here doing shit they wasn't supposed to be doing against our Lord.
Idolaters.
I like
Impossible burgers is just plant tumors. Probably. I mean, I don't trust anything that is not naturally made. You know,
I mean, yeah, because now they can just throw organic, they can just throw vegan on something and throw it in a fucking grocery store aisle and we'll buy it thinking, oh, well, it said low fat, it said vegan and shit. And it's actually more fat and no vegan.
they could throw anything. They could throw things just to mess up your whole gene, your whole DNA. We just trusting that. Saw something today.
I mean, they've been doing that to us for years anyway.
Yeah.
That's why you got
You're right. All this processed food is just really the same thing. Sugar is basically the
think
same
about the
thing.
shit they've been putting in our fruit roll-ups. We've been
Right.
consuming those for decades.
Yeah. Ain't
Think
not a
about,
damn
think
fruit
about
in
all
that.
the mind control that goes into a Pop-Tart.
Yeah. Ain't a damn fruit in those things.
Not
In the
what is a
2
wild berry?
I don't know.
I've never seen it in the wild.
Neither is anybody else, but it sounds good. It sounds cool.
It does
Sounds
sound mythical.
cool on a Kool-Aid packet, so people will buy it and say, "Oh yeah, give me that wild fruit berry." Don't know where it come from, but it sounds good. It must come from the deepest, darkest jungles.
It's like, damn, dude, I really need some energy. Here, take this wild berry Pop-Tart. Wild berry, dude, berries, fruits, it's not gonna do it for me. But this is wild berry. You're gonna be like wild, man. And then the commercial, you know, it gets wild over something.
You know
I was
what
born
the
in the
worst thing though? The worst thing I think parents do for kids is quick breakfasts, the cereals and the pancakes and the waffles, because it's all just sugar. There's nothing of nutritional value in any of that stuff. It's all sugar.
This is Kicks. I fuck with Kicks the long way. I don't know why. I really like Kicks as a cereal. Has always been one of my favorite cereals. It's kid tested
Kicks
and
a
mother
long
approved. It's kid tested and mother approved, according to the commercial.
the mother of the company probably
Yeah, probably.
getting money off of that. But yeah, but sugar, I think that's probably like the worst thing to do is that the breakfast Pop Tarts, cereals, the oatmeal's filled with
Cereal
sugar,
bars.
your cereal bars is nothing but sugar. Eggs, bacon, stuff like that. Well, maybe not bacon, but eggs and maybe oatmeal without
Actually,
so much sugar.
according to some
It'll be
shit
different.
that my girlfriend was informing me about in a documentary, they the only reason we started eating meat during breakfast was because like we just wanted to sell more meat. Like that's the only reason we had a big push for breakfast being the most important meal of the day because of the excess of dairy that we had. Like milk really isn't a good thing for us to be drinking. Like it really does not actually breed strong bones. You know what breeds strong bones?
Yeah, it actually
Like
takes
eating bones, actually eating the bone marrow from certain, you know, meats or just drinking water and certain vegetables.
it's been shown that actually milk actually takes calcium away from your bones.
Yeah, but because you know, the farming industry was the biggest industry, but it was being put out of business by the industrial industry. They had to come together in some way to manufacture things. So as the industrial industry developed, they started making more hog killing plants and beef killing plants. And since we're killing all these hogs and killing all these beef, we're getting all this meat. We got to do something with it. Let's sell it to people. And that's how breakfast is the most important meal of the day began.
It's all about capitalism in the end.
All about capitalism. Like as everything is always this is America. Don't catch your pockets empty
Okay. Trying to
because we
pop
still
this.
gonna tax you. Hope y'all did y'all tax.
Oh yeah, I still gotta do mine.
I did mine. I let TurboTax agent do mine. I just passed them on. I got it like that.
Trying to pop up this video I got coming up for our first subject for today. Doesn't seem to want to pop up. Oh, maybe that's why. We'll be talking about this video where it's talking about what guys think women want in this dating world. This guy is talking about he talked to a few women, I guess, that was in his DM, and they told him the guys are getting it wrong or what they think women want in this dating world. And I'm trying to pop this video up, but it's trying to be an ass to me right now.
Let's hear somebody else dumbass opinion about what they think the other sex wants based upon the sex that they're the type of woman that they are attracting to their inbox. Because I guarantee it's going to be based upon the kind of woman that's popping up in his inbox.
It's always the case, right? What is this
And
video?
he probably gonna skip over. I'm trying to buy you some time while you look for it. He probably gonna skip over some messages and shit, show us some shit that he want us to see. I really don't get the premise. I probably should have looked at the video.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. I'm about to pop it up as soon as I is
I'm
this
just
thing.
gonna,
It's on my nerve. I cannot even find the video now. I see it elsewhere, but I can't find it up here.
Israel's still over there bombing them Palestinians, y'all. We gotta do something about it. And them Jews is letting it rock. Ooh, I said it this time. I said the J word.
You'll say the C word pretty soon. Canceled. It's coming soon.
Oh, I already said cracker. So,
Oh yeah, that one too.
oh, what you want me to say? Caucus, Caucasoid. Oh, you want me to say the other C word?
No,
Colonizer.
oh well, yeah, that one. I thought you meant the other bad one.
Oh, cunt. No.
Yeah, that one. You ain't gonna say it anyway.
No, I ain't gonna say that shit. Ugh, that's a terrible word. Why would anyone say that? That's the worst word ever committed to the English language. The Anglo-Saxon language, the Latin language, the Greek language, the Hebrew language, the Ethiopian language, the what else? What other languages that we speak? Atlantean. Fucking what other? I want to learn Zulu. I want to learn Zulu and Xhosa. You actually have to pronounce it with that click, spelled with an X. Xhosa. That's the language that the characters in Marvel's Black Panther are speaking. Tidbit: Ryan Coogler said that he wanted the languages in Wakanda to be of the oldest languages in Africa. So he went down to South Africa and learned of the Xhosa language and the Xhosa. The Xhosa language is, the consonants and clicks that we usually hear from the uh, pygmy or the bush people of South Africa and of some Zulu tribes, most notably the one that Shaka hails from. They speak in the, languages. And because Ryan Coogler said Wakanda has never been conquered, they've never been invaded, they've never been taken over or dominated, they would still have one of the most ancient languages known to Africa. So it's never been broken. So that's why they got it. Little African. That's some this has been Lord Trent with vital Black information for your everyday life.
I'm gonna have to share this video from something else because I cannot pull up this
I'm about to
video.
say, just put it up on your phone and hold your phone to the screen at this point.
I'm gonna share the screen and
Or send it to me. I'm gonna send it to Preezy, and then Preezy send it back to you, and then maybe you could open the file that way.
hold on, I think I got it. All right. Try to make it bigger than that.
That's what she said.
So many times you're getting us canceled today. All right, let me see play button. All right, here we go. Let me turn it up some so we can hear it.
She said, men, straight men, believe that they are competing with the top 10% of other men for women's affection. But really, what they're competing with is the peace that women feel in solitude.
Said this before, but it says a lot about the experience that women are having with dating when so many would rather just have a cat. I saw somebody say that loneliness has treated her better than any man ever has. God damn. It's wild because there's a massive difference between what men think makes dating hard versus what women are actually saying makes dating hard. Now, I get comments and DMs every single day asking questions or asking for advice or just straight up trauma dumping about this. And the men think dating is hard because they believe all the women just want the most elite men in the world. Tallest, richest, best looking, muscles, all of it. If you don't have those things, you're shit out of luck. I think the bar is so incredibly high that only the top 10% of men can even reach it. Meanwhile, in my comment section, in my DMs, what are the women saying? The bar is in hell. It couldn't be lower. You'd have to drill to the center of the earth just to find it. A lot of these women are just looking for a dude that treats them like a human being, and they're having a hard time finding them. So they're saying, well, fuck it. I just won't do this then. It's got a lot of these guys fucked up because they're used to using the fear of being alone in order to control women. If you do this, this, and this, you're going to die alone. If you do that, you're just going to be a cat lady. Bro, they don't give a fuck. So that's probably not going to work no more. Anyway, y'all be safe out
Okay, I'm gonna play that one more time, just one more time for
Yeah,
the
go ahead. Because
Instagram.
I already know what I'm gonna say, but go ahead, play it again.
Yeah, we had some Instagram people are just popped up here, so I'm gonna play it one more time.
She said, men, straight men, believe that they are competing with the top 10% of other men for women's affection. But really, what they're competing with is the peace that women feel in solitude.
I've said this before, but it says a lot about the experience that women are having with dating when so many would rather just have a cat. I saw somebody say that loneliness has treated her better than any man ever has. God damn. It's wild because there's a massive difference between what men think makes dating hard versus what women are actually saying makes dating hard. Now, I get comments and DMs every single day asking questions or asking for advice or just straight up trauma dumping about this. And the men think dating is hard because they believe all the women just want the most elite men in the world. Tallest, richest, best looking, muscles, all of it. If you don't have those things, you're shit out of luck. I think the bar is so incredibly high that only the top 10% of men can even reach it. Meanwhile, in my comment section, in my DMs, what are the women saying? The bar is in hell. It couldn't be lower. You'd have to drill to the center of the earth just to find it. A lot of these women are just looking for a dude that treats them like a human being, and they're having a hard time finding them. So they're saying, well, fuck it. I just won't do this then. It's got a lot of these guys fucked up because they're used to using the fear of being alone in order to control women. If you do this, this, and this, you're going to die alone. If you do that, you're just going to be a cat lady. Bro, they don't give a fuck. So that's probably not going to work no more. Anyway, y'all be safe out
All right. Now we got that out the way. So I'm gonna ask you guys, please, I'm gonna come with you first because you are a woman. And based off of this, would you agree with what these women are telling him is what kind of guy they really want? And are guys getting it wrong? What he thinks guys are saying that women want, the perception, what guys think women want, are they getting it wrong? Now I'll pop the timer up here, give you some time to speak on it. And first, I guess, tell me if you agree with what the video is saying so far.
I'm sorry. It was a
There's really two things, so you can say you agree with one part and disagree with another.
It was kind of confusing to me. I wasn't really understanding, but
Well, kind of, he was just from what. Let me try to give a little cliff note on it. He's saying that there's, of course, this red pill nation as out there that believes women just want the top 10%, 5%. I guess rich 6-figure guys, 6 foot, 6-figure guys, 6 foot guys, whatever. Certain type of guy that may be harder to obtain instead of going for the average guy. And guys are saying they're trying hard to become those type of guys and making it harder for them. And he's saying women are like, no, we're willing to accept an average guy out here. We're not trying to go for these type of guys that are called high value men. We just want somebody to treat us right in the end. He's saying, according to him, that the women are hitting him in his DMs telling him this. So he's pretty much saying that men are getting it wrong of what they think women want from them.
okay. I think I can answer that. I agree with him. I think.
Okay.
Ready? Go!
First of all, the dating game today, it is so difficult. It's hard. It's rough. women want what they want. You know, I don't even know if it's about average guy or this anymore. You just want to be treated with respect, and you want somebody to be honest and faithful. Yes, you look at the things as far as finances and stuff like that. But if you listen to a lot of women's conversations, you just want to stop. You want somebody to stop playing games and be honest and stop with the lies and the double lives. And it's hard out here. If you talk to a lot of women today, they rather be by themselves because they're tired. I'm not saying that the men are not tired, but I think a man has a better chance when it comes to relationship than women because it's a lot more women. It's a lot more women than men out here, and men know that. And so it is very difficult to find someone today that's right. Um, People are not honest, and they want to be out there, have a whole family on the East Coast. So it's difficult. Relationships are hard, and I see why women tend to stay to themselves. Just they're tired. They're tired, so they rather have a peace of mind than to have drama. I hope I answered it correctly.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, you got according to what you think. Yeah, it's fine. I'll ask this one question before I go to LT. Percentage wise, you can give me a 10
These
point.
damn percentages.
Yeah, you can give me a 10-point difference in percentage wise, like between 10 and 20, 40 and 50, 80 and 90. What percentage would you give that there are good, dateable men out here?
From 1 to what?
You can between 1 and 100. You can give a 10-point difference between 10 and 20 or 50 and 60, whatever. But what percentage would you say that there are good, dateable men out here? It can be, more than 50 or less than 50, but just try to give me a 10-point difference if you can.
25%.
So you'll say what, between 25 and 35 or 15 and 25?
15 to 20.
Woo! Oh, all right. Okay. I mean, yeah, that's, because you got, your reasons for why you say that. And that's low. That is very low. 15 to 25. Damn.
It's very bad. It's bad.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to see what you would say about that. Okay. LT.
See, Tegan don't even think John Legend the sexiest man alive. What's up?
What?
What? Next on Hostile Therapy.
Did you hear that?
What's up?
Did you hear that percentage, man?
A percentage of dateable good men.
Yeah, good dateable men. She says hers is between 15 and 25%.
My percentage is always going to be the same. 33, 33, 33, 1.
That's
33 is like, because what I was just saying is like, or what I was just saying off cam, some side shit. What can we really say is dateable? Because
what's dateable.
But see, here's the thing. Sierra is in the best relationship that a woman could possibly hope to be in, especially knowing that she has a child from a whole previous relationship with what one would consider the lord of the fuck niggas. Not too many women would be lucky enough to find a man that is more successful, in physically better shape, lacks the addictions and the emotional abuse that comes with the other man, is good to her, treats her well, which is the thing we're talking about, treats their children and her child from the outside relationship well. But guess what? Nobody is attracted to Russell Wilson. We call him corny.
No one?
He's not what many women would consider the perfect man or the guy they want to date.
And that's why I asked this question, because it's the perception on what a good guy
So
is.
that's why I
It's-
can't give a real percentage, because
You
people's
can though. You
perception
can.
of what, you know what I'm saying, like, well, I want a man that, but that's not what you should want, but that's what you want anyway.
But you
Okay.
can tell them if they're wrong though. You can tell them
I
if they're
can't
looking
tell
for the wrong
nobody if
guy.
they're wrong.
You
I mean, I
can.
could
It's
could
every day.
verbally tell them that, but how they're not gonna listen.
Why would a man
That's
trust?
that's what, and that's the problem today, is because we don't tell anybody and we just let them flounder and suffer.
Oh no, see the thing, I do tell people, but
Yeah,
I
you don't
know
have to
people
listen. I know.
don't listen,
What?
because when it comes to what you want to do, you're going to do what you're most attracted to. You know, women know that I really, so adherently, I disagree. I honestly, I think the white guy that was speaking first and the black guy that spoke after, I think they're just speaking from the standpoint of dating the same kind of women, which is white women. I'm gonna be honest. Sorry to the white women daters that are watching again. It's Black History Month, so
Okay.
I'll
Well,
give a fuck.
with that,
You know what I'm saying?
you said,
Because only white
you
women
know,
would say that they want an average guy. I just want the guy that's gonna treat me right. That's because you're used to being with the alpha guy. You're used to being with the guy
are you
where, like,
agreeing with?
black women don't have that
Are you
luxury of being able to get rid of their patriarchy system because they've never had it.
are you agreeing with the video? Is what you're saying?
I'm
Or
disagreeing with
you
it.
disagreeing with the video?
I'm
Okay.
disagreeing with it. Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you
Throw
your
this
time.
thing up here.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the time right quick, and we'll hit back at it.
Are you ready? Go!
Yeah, as I said, I just think both that older white man and that younger black man, I just think they both date the same kind of women, which is white women. And only I truly feel like it's only white women that are seeking just average men that treat them well, because black women need black women don't require just average men that treat them well. Black women need men to come in and alleviate the stress that they currently feel from having to be their own black man for their own life. More black women are single. Well, only now do we care about single mothers, because more we care about baby mamas, because more white women have become single mothers. That's the only reason we're using the term single mother, because more white women have become that on their own. And because they're coming from a standpoint of, I was already married, I already have alimony, and it's two different standpoints of women that try to argue for these things. And I truly feel as though that neither of these people, like, black women need to find their own voice in what they are looking for from a man, because I truly feel like the rhetoric for what a woman is looking for is always being steered by white women, but white women have always had a level of luxury that a black woman has never had the luxury of having. The After slavery, the best job a black woman could hope to get was raising the children of a white woman. If you've ever seen The Help. I haven't, but I know that they treated those women poorly in there, because apparently Octavia Spencer shit in someone's pie. You don't do
Yeah.
that when your employer is treating you well. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I always feel as though these topics should, we really shouldn't even be having them anymore, because I really don't get the point of what either one of these dudes were saying them for. Are they in relationships? Are they dating? Because the white dude was like 60 something years old or 50 something years old. I, I don't care what either one of them have to say about women, because I'm not trying to go for the women. What's up, Andrew?
What's
I'm not
up?
going for any of the women that it seems like is in their inbox.
Well, the purpose of having this conversation is to see. We need to understand what women looking for and what guys are looking for. There are certain parameters, bad or good, which sounds like what you're saying is a lot of women have bad parameters of what makes a good relationship by picking bad guys. If you're saying Sierra picked a guy like Future before, maybe she got it right the second go round with Russell. The point of this is to know what they're looking for.
Nah, she didn't get it right. She settled.
She settled for Russell?
She settled. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a hell of a settlement.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
when I say
a lot
settled,
bigger than, because you could have
No,
literally
like
ended up with the guy that has 8 more baby mamas.
yeah,
does
but you have
not
to look
treat
at it
them
like
well.
you have to look at it like this. She dated Future. She fuck with 50. She fuck with Bow Wow. She had a certain type. When you see somebody deviate from a certain type, that's because they can't lock down that type of man they really wanted.
I would never call Future and Bow Wow the same type.
But there is a point to that because you do see,
But you get like there's a certain
I get what you're
correlation.
saying.
You
I get
date a
what you're
rapper.
saying. I'm not playing.
you will see
Yeah.
women that will date the quote unquote bad guy earlier in their lives and turn down the good guy, and then when they turn 40 and then stuff doesn't seem to work the same, the beauty starts to fade away a little bit. Now they want to go for the good guy. That does happen. That does.
And then you gotta think Russell catches shit because he had to go on the Ellen show begging to my, can we have another baby? What man with self-respect has to get on national TV to beg his wife for a baby?
No man should have to do that. I cannot disagree with you on that. The alternative, and I don't want to make it a black and white thing, pun intended, but the alternative of where she could have ended up or where she started with either a Shad Moss. I didn't know she was linked to 50 Cent, but a Shad Moss, or you're forever linked to Future because now you created a child with this person, and it does bear a pattern of not making the correct choices or making choices that were possibly for your image, for your career, or based solely upon physical attraction or emotional attraction. You're right. We don't think about those valuable things, those intangible things, like, is this person going to be honest with me? Is this person going to be respectful of me in private and in public? We don't think about those things until we reach a certain level of maturity. And I'm saying that as in our culture, black men and black women, we're literally taught to be attracted to the most negative aspects of each other. Us as young black men, we know there are smart, good, loyal women. We look at the girl with the tight leggings on. We look at the girl with her booty out. We look at the girl with the big old titties and they sitting up real nice. We give her our attention. We make fun of smart men and smart women within our community. We've done that for a long time.
But there's a difference between men and women with that. If I look at the women in the leggings and the big old titties and the big booty, that's usually sexual attention. That's not relationship attention.
No.
Sexual attention,
That
we
is
have
true.
men and often have a deviate. Understand there's a separation from that. I look at a woman and see with big booty. That don't mean she's wife material. I just like hitting it.
That is one thing too,
Very
because a
true.
lot of women will say, and guys will say, "Oh, I got all these women in my DMs." Women be like, "I got all these guys in the DM. I'm wanted. Wanted for what though? What are you really wanted to? Is any of that turned into anything long term, or is it turned into a fleeting moment that the guy wants with you?"
And I'm glad you said that, because as you said that you're not looking at, you see that's what attracts you, and you're not looking at her for wife material, but that's what gets you to engage with her. Because what is the dating process if not trying to figure out if someone is wife material?
Right.
But
well,
at
let
some
me-
point,
Go
but
ahead.
I mean, at some point, let's be honest. There's gonna
Like
be
no
a
one has
physical.
ever said, "Oh, damn, she's smart as hell. Let me see what she up to. Let's slide to her DMs."
Don't you have to have some type of attraction?
That's true.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have some type
Yeah.
of attraction.
Right.
And usually when you meet somebody,
It's physical. Right?
sometimes you just want to have sex with them because they ain't really saying nothing much.
But see,
You're like, man,
like,
I'm just gonna have sex
we
with them,
gotta
keep it
evolve
moving.
to a place where if they're not saying much, that should turn us off. Both of us, men and women, will see, damn, this person not really that smart. Damn, they kind of ignorant at that. Ugh, they kind of rude, but they
Well,
cute though.
But
But
yeah, I say
until
most guys will turn that
I'm
off. Like,
feeling a
yeah,
kind of way right now. It's been like 5-6 months since and so not returning my phone calls. Like a lot of other things start kicking in to why we choose to make these lackluster decisions in people that we already are getting the end. I was telling my nephew this, like he was telling me about this. They're 16 going on 17, about this little skirmish him and his girlfriend is having. It's like, as you're telling me this, nephew, you know what you want to do. You want to leave this girl. You want to leave her alone because everything that you're telling me that she's doing, you don't like. You have a problem with. It's annoying to you, or it's hurting you in an emotional way. But because y'all have this attraction to each other, because y'all find each other to be so cute, you're so enamored with each other, you're a little possessive of each other. I'm yours, she's mine. I don't want to let that go. You don't want to let that go, but you're not acknowledging the fact that you're growing in different directions. And a lot of us, we've already grown. A lot of us are 30, 40, 50. So we're already stuck in our ways. dating for us is only going to be harder if we aren't willing to budge and compromise or address the things that we don't like about ourselves that we've probably been hearing over and over and over again. Because as these women are saying they just want an average guy, you don't want an average guy that can't pay no bills. You don't want an average guy that can't fix nothing around the house if something get broke. You don't want an average guy that can't even cook if you know what I'm saying, if you tired or something. Like you don't like there's more
But there's a
to
lot of
just
people that
wanting an
can't.
average guy that treats you right.
And actually, with the when they talk about the top 10%, there's a book that talks about online dating, and that's where usually that statistic comes from. And it's actually even lower. They say it's like about 4%. So based on like Tinder and most online dating apps, they swipe, and it only wants a certain percentage of the women usually swipe on a certain percentage of men.
Mhm.
So you find more men swipe on more women of different levels than women do of men. That's based
We're
on
playing a
online
different
dating.
game. We're playing we're trying to cast the largest net when we go fishing versus them being more precise and lining up their bait on their hook and then just sitting there and letting it bob up and down in the water.
Yeah.
They're
What is
actually
that
they're
preciseness
fishing, they're
based on?
looking for the big fish.
Yeah.
We're looking for a lot of fish. Plenty of fish.
Yeah, and the problem with that is we're looking look for a lot of fish. We don't know what fish we're trying to eat. Are we trying to eat carp, catfish, flounder, shark, minnows? We're going for all the fish. We're not
I
looking for
got
the right
very
fish.
diverse tastes. I
But
like
the
it.
main thing you have to understand is if men didn't look for a lot of fish, the human race would have been extinct thousands of years ago.
How so?
You have to think about it. We're programmed to just have sex, reproduce, mate with as
That's
many
real.
women.
Procreate.
If
Yes.
men were as
Right.
fickle as women was about sex, we would have died out 1,000 years ago.
I mean,
Thousands
I
of
get
years
what you're
ago.
saying with that. I get what you're saying with that. Biology wise, we're built differently. And, women cannot continue to
This
have
is
sex
why
with different men
women.
after not.
This is
Hold on.
why. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Red.
Women are not built to have sex with many men after, because you got 9 months, you got to wait to have a kid, and then you got to
Yeah.
go another 9 months to have a kid, where a guy can just keep going, and women have a stopping point where they can't have kids anymore, whereas guys can have kids on up into their 70s or even later. So just biologically, we are created differently.
Yeah.
And to add to your wisdom, Red, that's why a woman has to be more selective about her
Yeah,
procreation
yeah, right.
selection, because she may only get one go at this. So the genetic offspring that she produces has to be from the most productive male of, like, if we're being ancient about it, I love to go ancient. It has to be from the most productive male of the pack. It can't be from the cowardly lion. It has to be from Mufasa, because that's my child. That's a part of me. That's also going to be that's a part of me that's being recreated. So that's a part of me going further in my legacy. You know what I'm saying?
But
That's women see that as well, because that child is sitting in them for 9 months. You know what I'm saying? They want to be able to love, because that's their station, that's their power. They want to be able to love that child into life. If they don't truly vibe with the dude that they got pregnant with, if they have nothing but ill words to say about him, which in our times that's usually the case, they don't like their baby daddies, or they might have one baby daddy they like, one baby daddy that they really don't like. And it's it's terrible to speak about it in these senses, but these are the most realistic ways in which we can speak about it, because this is what's happening, and this is how these children are coming into this world. They're being procreated through a process of us not truly vibing with each other, which throws their whole vibe off.
the whole question is, if women are supposedly selective, especially I don't date black women, but we pertain this to black women. If they're so selective, why now? Even let's look at it now. They have one of the highest rates of single moms. So before the 70s, black women actually had the lowest rate of single out of wedlock births, lower than any race. So we look after the 70s, they have one now. They have one of the highest. You have baby daddies. So if you have baby daddies, are you really selective?
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that the selection, like it is definitely falling off. Like, I'm not disagreeing
Yeah.
with you in that sense at all. And I
And I
think,
even go
again, we can, if we're going back to the 70s, those CIA documents that were targeted at the black family, that is the cause of it. It wasn't to completely eradicate our seed, because what this nation does want is workers. What this nation does want is consumers. And they know that they're always going to have a consumer and a product in the black woman. And they're going to start with her as a little black girl. And they're always going to have a worker slash a slave in the black man. And they're going to start with him as a little black boy. And if we can have their mothers not protected by a consistent male figure, if we can have these children not being protected by a consistent masculine figure and being ignored, neglected by a consistent feminine figure, then yeah, we'll have them for life. Like that's why even though we're only 13% of the population, we account for so much of the spending dollar. Because once we're addicted to something, once we're on something, oh, we gonna support it. We're on it. That's our shit.
Let me get a question to preach it right quick. Okay. Earlier she said, and I'm not disputing it, she might be pretty right on the ball, right on the money with this. But she said, how many good dateable men are there out there? She said between 15, 25%. And I'm not disputing it. She could be correct. Would that be fair to say that the selection process of women is also that low too?
It's a possibility, I'm sure, but
Or is it desperation?
It's hard to think about, but if we say that there's only 15 to 25% of good men out there, it like we're literally one half of the same species. So that means that we're a reflection of each other. Like it's almost like it's sacrilegious to say that there are not as many good women, just as there are not as many good men. It's almost like slapping God in his face, slapping God in the tits.
Hold on, let's hear what Preezy has to say about that. Let her speak on it right quick.
It's a
do you think the selection process? Do you think the selection process is flawed for women, or do you think it's desperation for some that just will go after these quote unquote mediocre guys instead of just being alone? I guess I would say.
I think right now for women, they would rather be alone. They would rather. I mean, from the people that I've spoken to, they would rather be alone than to be dealing with the nonsense that's out there today. It's a lot. I think the dating game is a lot more easier for men than women.
What do you think so many
women,
bad? Oh, go ahead.
I think it's like I said. It's easy for guys to get women than for a woman to get a guy.
You mean a good guy? Because I can't agree with it's easy.
No, good guy.
Okay. It's way easier for women to get guys.
Guy that's not
good guys, yeah.
With several women, the game is not good.
Okay. Where do you think these bad guys came from?
I just think more they have a huge selection. It's just more women than men, and it's a lot of women. You got a lot of people out here today that just don't want to be alone, and they will subject themselves to anything and everything. They don't have boundaries, and when you don't have boundaries or you don't care, you don't want to be alone, you deal with the man that has the wife and the side chick. You don't want to be alone. Well, when he sees me, this is my time. Blah, blah. Nobody tolerating that. If you can't stick with one, then do your thing. But most women today are tired. Because you talk, they're tired. They're tired. And if you can't come right, respectful, no lies, no games, I'd rather be by myself.
Andrew, you got a rebuttal to that?
I say a lot of the guys, like I use myself as an example. Like I said, I started out late in the game, and part of it was I was nice, but when I realized I had a villain era, as I would call it. So when I was in my villain era, I was a side dude, and I treated women like shit. I got more respect from women treating them like shit than I did when I was nice to them. And I think
Right.
for a lot of guys, being that toxic, that guy gets them more respect because they like we have to look at it how we raise guys. Oh yeah, you work hard, you get a job, eventually you'll meet a woman and y'all will get married. Or you have a guy who's like, I have trouble with meeting women. Don't worry about it. Just focus on this. And you want it now. And when you get out here and you realize like, yo, I get more respect when I'm just an asshole. I'm gonna run with this. That's going, and then you see the women say they tired of the games and stuff. But on the other end, if you had a whole selection of men, when you curved all these good guys, like when you have these women that curve all these good guys that start out as good guys and they realize if I'm just an asshole, they're gonna fuck with me. They're gonna fuck with me. Don't getting constantly curved is gonna be like, yo, let's just do it this way. It works, like, because we as men do what works. We adapt to what work and figure out what works, and then we stick with it. We run with it. It's either adapt or die.
Yeah, but I could say that's also to our own detriment too, because what women are we actually going for?
Thank
You know,
you.
because-
You're dealing with women that don't have self-love.
yeah, exactly.
That's what you're dealing with. They don't have respect for themselves.
And I gotta interject because that's why
They have no
we have to
self-love.
say it's literally 15% to 25% on both ends, because a lot of people, men and women, are lacking of self-love. Like, think about it. It's not just there's a lot of men down there at Freaknik, but if there was no women at Freaknik, it would be a sausage fest. It would have been a LGBTQ plus GRESTUV party if no women
Yeah.
showed up.
Z.
Something called Freaknik.
It's just like if a lot of these dudes didn't get curved, they wouldn't be assholes.
And it is really wild to see that happen in real time. Like, I can admit, I probably had a villain era where I was treating women less than the goddesses that they should be treated, because I was probably treating myself like less than the god that I am. I was consuming the wrong things, music, food, whatever. I wasn't treating myself with love. Like, even though I didn't like physically stand in the mirror and say I don't love me, I wasn't treating myself as though I loved myself. And the caliber of woman that I was engaging with didn't love me correctly. They loved me ill. So I could honestly say, like, I could even say even more so because of my experience with women. But then I would have to be honest about how much I love myself in those situations. Because if I love myself, I would have, no, I don't like that you responded to me like that in this situation. So I'm just going to distance myself. Like, Priest, the way you said is very mature, which I wish more of us could get to that level of, oh my God, this person is causing me too much drama. I'm stepping away from them. I guess, like, down here in this dating generation, we literally we don't know how to stop fucking with people. Like, if like we're literally drawn to toxicity, as we said on this, or as we were looking at Glorilla on this show one time, saying that when you're in your 20s, be toxic. And these kids, because they're not growing up in a strong family household and a strong connected household, they're being raised by these outside entities that are telling them to be these ways. And they're kind of watching their parents do it as well, because they're not watching their parents love each other correctly. They're probably not even watching their parents love themselves correctly.
Because I'll be honest, when I was in my villain era, I wasn't really respected. I done had baby daddies and husbands looking for me, coming to my job and shit.
It's been up there. It's been up there.
But did you know these women had these men?
Yes. The women are always gonna, not always. Some. Oh, my bad.
I'm sorry. Did you know that they had these men?
One I didn't, and what it was I went to her house, and she was like, I packed this stuff up, so he's out. He just got to come to get the rest of this stuff. She lied about it. That was only one. The rest of them I knew.
All right, well then that's on you. You dated someone who had other people, so that's what you chose.
But see, he took accountability and acknowledgement.
That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I think he was cool with that. I think he wasn't really dating them per se. He was
just getting sex. But my thing is, nobody takes relationships serious anymore because it's so easy to leave and get somebody else with all
That
these
part, yeah.
all these dating apps, social media, everybody's DM, everybody. It is so easy to cheat and do things. Nobody takes things serious. So you get into an argument, you be ready to talk to the person that just DM'd you that quick. So
But that's- I'm sorry.
relationships are not taken serious anymore. Love is not serious anymore. And people are too quick to leave because it's so easy to get somebody else. And that's what makes things so difficult.
I don't get
And I,
why we still,
So if
because
you're that type of person that just you're not looking for love or a relationship, you shouldn't lead a person into thinking that's what you're looking for when you're really not.
but see,
Because
that's the thing. Men
people
and
have
women
lost
both
their
do that.
lives. They have lost their lives for playing games with people. They've
Yeah.
lost lives.
Or my
So
man is a real thing.
Yeah. I think
you
most
know,
people, the issue is they're always looking for the things that are tangible, the things that you can actually touch, flesh wise or whatever like that. They're not looking for the intangibles besides love, how you can build a household, how you can build generational wealth, how you can raise the kids, how you can help them organize, little things in their life. No one's looking for those extra things. When you
Right.
Until
hear,
we have
we talked about a couple weeks ago, most of the time when we talk about, let's just say, what's Simone Biles? We talked about her a few weeks ago. And when the guy said he was a catch, and people went all in arms, somebody, oh God, how could you say you were the catch when you're with an Olympic gold medalist? What does that have to do with being a good wife? What does that have to
I'm
do with
saying
being a
like that
girlfriend?
doesn't
That
have
doesn't tell anything about how any intangibles or anything on the inside if she's
I'm a
patient.
top round draft pick. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like
what
I'm a
else?
top round draft pick. Y'all here interviewing me.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? You put me in a situation like that's because I was just saying this to someone else. Like we're so quick to say, like, if we're talking about the wife of someone famous and we say, oh well, that's just his wife. A woman is no, she has a book and she does this and she does this and she is not just that. But when it comes to men, they should just be lucky. Like no one, everyone's. I guarantee you, everyone feels like Stedman should just shut the fuck up and be lucky.
Kind of does. You
you
never
know
ask
what's
Everyone
funny?
got stuff going on.
You know what's funny about Stedman? Look at every picture of him and Oprah and Stedman. Oprah be looking at that man like he the best thing in the world.
Cause he
Like he like an old school player.
he not gonna push this he ain't pushed the marriage thing because he done settled in. Okay, look, you the breadwinner. You got it. Hey, look, dog, you got it. Hey, I'm gonna still write some books though. I'm gonna do some pop-up public
I
speakings or
think they
whatever.
both agreed to that, to just
Yeah.
together and
I feel like they had a bet
have
back in the
agreement that
80s, and he
probably
thought he was
best.
gonna take off.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think they agreed. I think he probably is more like, I ain't about to rock the boat because when that inheritance money come up, I'm not
He
about
ain't
to.
know,
I'm trying to get some of this billion for the inheritance money. If she goes before I go, because he
and
sure ain't gonna get it from
he's not
Mary.
gonna push that situation. He's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? He knows she's
And
never
maybe
like
that's what works for them,
Yeah, it might do. It's
It works.
different because this is a unique situation. Because I think he's a millionaire. I think and she's a billionaire.
he's
You don't find a
not
billionaire woman, period. Like that.
he's not a
Like
broke
woman
boy.
I can think of.
He's not a broke boy by any means,
Right.
but comparatively and perspective wise, when looking at an Oprah Winifred Free, that's what I call her, an Oprah Winifred, uh, yeah, you could say that. What do you even do that even matters? So, you know what I'm saying? We have no problem trivializing the emotional part when it's coming from a man. We have no problem trivializing the companion and the partner aspect when it's coming from a man, because our primary thought of a man, you should always want to be the breadwinner. You should always want to be the head of things. And who's to say he's not the head of his household? Who's not to say when Oprah come home from talking to Gail on a little road trip, the Stedman don't be in there ready to, you know what I'm saying, ready to do some get faded and X-rated, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just, you know what I'm saying, I just caught some bodies in the streets of GTA and now I want some of that. Oh,
You can just picture that now. Like, yes, Stedman, I've been talking to Tyler Perry. Nah, I've been that ass over.
I'm saying, hey, look, I don't like that you're hanging out with Harvey and them. Stop hanging out with that. Stop hanging out with that nasty old white man. You like your
Andrew,
Xbox Live account, don't you?
Andrew, I want to come back
All
to you
right.
right quick, Andrew, with something that you mentioned in the comments. Why do you, and there's a lot of guys that have this same sentiment about, and you mentioned it a little bit, but I want you to go a little bit more in depth about Russell Wilson. Why do you consider him a simp? Why do so many people come for him? And it seems like, oh, you know, Sierra just using him and he ain't the guy for
I
her.
think we look at it how she's some of the things she does, it comes off like she doesn't respect it. Like if you married, you shouldn't be having your ass out. But I get it. Some people say, well, he's probably cool with that. But I mean, even if I was cool with that, she still should be like, man, I ain't gonna come out like that.
People say that, but nobody said that when Kanye West was dating Kim Kardashian. Nobody says that to Jay-Z, and Beyonce is literally the best ass of all time, according to like 17 magazines. Nobody says that to ASAP Rocky,
And
and Rihanna is literally a marketer of lingerie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we literally be picking Russell Wilson.
But
You know
then
what
we have
I'm
to
saying?
add in his whole vibe as a man.
As a church going man. That's
Not
probably
even really a
would have
church
asked
going
him.
man, because
All
they
our
church
grandmas
going.
went to church. We don't like church now. Oh
Because
wow! I thought I was the only
We'll say this: they church going men that was men.
Yeah, man, he raising kids, he paying the bills, he treating his woman right. He get like what?
But we see the display when you had to get on TV. Can we have another baby? When you
We
see
literally
displays like that, it
see
shows the lack of respect she has for him.
we see our rappers that we know are married to women disrespect themselves and their women by being in videos with women half their age throwing champagne,
I say
shooting at
that's way
you.
worse.
Like, come on now, come on.
Wouldn't you say that's way worse though, Andrew? The future versus the Russell.
Like, think about the image that you literally an interview of that young boy, RIP Juice World, said, I started drinking lean because of Future's Dirty Sprite 2 back when I was like 12 years old. That's what is attached to Future's legacy
But he chose
versus
because
a championship quarterback.
okay, well, here's the thing. When you look at Russell, his vibe, and then plus for like a guy like me, I look at it like these black women weren't checking for him when he was with the white woman. They won't before when he was with the white woman before that, they won't like, damn, Russell fine. It's when he got with Sierra that they look at him now. Oh, he's a good man. Oh God,
Here's what I'm gonna
Lord
get you.
God,
Black
he's a
men was
good
not
man.
checking for Sierra. I remember being in the 7th grade. Remember that whole rumor of Sierra being a hermaphrodite? I remember that.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah, see, yeah, you went to
What?
Fayetteville. You went to schools in Fayetteville and Cumberland County. You know, we was like there was a rumor that and people was going around lying. Oh yeah, she sat down on Ricky Lake back when Ricky Lake had a show in the daytime. Because we always saw the shows in the daytime, even though we was all at school in the daytime. But yeah,
Sure.
she sat down on Ricky Lake and she was like, "Yeah, I was born a hermaphrodite." But I get like we all lied about the same damn thing about Sierra. None of us. Sierra don't have the kind of hive that Beyonce has. Her fan base is not a beehive. Charlemagne the God literally clowns Sierra shit by calling it a hornet's nest. He calls her fan base the hornet's nest, and he says the reason Sierra don't get no love is because she has terrible fans, and y'all don't really fuck with Sierra. Y'all only want to fuck with Sierra when it comes to telling her that we don't like that you letting Russell Williams be a better father to your son than his actual father. We
Not
mad
like
at
for
you
me,
for that.
if you take care of your kids, that's respectable. Now me, I don't fuck with single moms. I wouldn't recommend anybody to fuck with single moms like that.
I don't fuck with your mom.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, but when I say single moms, I mean like you had a child out of wedlock. Not like you was married and you divorced. Like that's not single. You're not a
Yeah,
single
you gotta
mom.
make
You
it right.
married. You tried to make it work. It just didn't work out. I can't fault you for that. You try to do it the right way. But if you just had out of wedlock, I'm just not gonna rock with you like that.
No, what's your reasons for that?
Mhm.
Like I dated a few, so I'm gonna say it like this. Okay, not my child. Like me, I want to have my own children. My DNA. That's just me.
I mean, so what you said you would date one that was, married.
I
at one
have
point,
dated
of
some.
course. Yeah. But why would you let that one slide though? That's why
Oh,
I'm
I
saying.
didn't. I just wanted to fuck.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, at least you're honest. Well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's me. I'm just honest. I'm not gonna sit there and lie about it. Like I meet women, I will women. I'm honest about it. I ain't gonna have to lie. I'm gonna be like, look, they're gonna be like, yeah, Andrew, I want to do. I'm gonna be like, look, hey, I'm dealing with these chicks. If you want to deal with me, that's cool. If you don't, you don't. That's on you.
Honesty is the best policy. Always found.
So the real game is just being honest and getting her to choosing you when you honest. That's the real game. It ain't the game ain't lying. Because when you a player, you don't play Monopoly cheating. You play Monopoly following the rules to win.
Yeah, I guess it ain't cheating or lying if everybody's in accordance with the rules. If she agrees with it, then it ain't lying. It ain't cheating. Especially the one you talking about that had husbands or had a husband or whatever and knew what she was doing with you.
I mean, well, no. If you apply rules to it, if someone is still in a relationship, that person is cheating. Like if you're, I mean, you can be single. You're just an accomplice. Like you're not.
Yeah, I got you.
Now, when I say the honesty thing, that when I stopped, by the time I stopped doing the whole sad dude thing, I was just like, yo, let me just be honest, because that was really what brought it out. Like, let me just be honest and deal with the women. When I deal with single women, let me just be honest about what I'm doing and what I want.
And why did you not want to do that anymore? What changed your mind about it? Like now you want to find a good woman, settle down. Why?
Nah, I just got tired. I got tired of these dudes trying to fuck with me.
That's it?
Yeah.
Not that you wanted like a good woman or nothing like that.
I mean, I was married. I did try to find a good one. I was married, but it ain't.
What would you say was?
I would honestly wager that a lot more men would rather be alone than women as well.
What would you say was your mistake in picking her?
My ex-wife?
Yeah.
Oh, she was a feminist.
She was feminist.
Yeah.
So what, she want to do 50-50 or she
No, what it was, I mean, like, cause okay, we did 50-50, but then she really didn't want a 50-50. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't even really honest with herself about what she really wanted. And then she had mental health issues. And it's just like I never found a feminist that didn't have mental health issues.
Damn. Crazy shaking her head like, what? We all crazy?
Right. Yeah, you thought I was getting us canceled only?
Nah. Crazy, would y'all just respond to that?
No response.
AG steps into the ring.
And plus, when somebody like me, I'm very anti-feminist, but I'm pro-equality. You know what I'm saying? Because when you look at the history of feminism, there's also like a layer of white supremacy mixed within that. Because when we talk about the suffragette movement, you look at somebody like Carrie Chapman Catt that said in order to sell women voting, she went to the South and said, if you get white women to vote, we will uphold white supremacy.
Yep. So I would describe it like fuck feminism. I'm a black feminist though.
Yeah.
So when we go should have their own a monolith voice of feminist empowerment, because it is like feminism is the white woman's movement of pretty much them trying to I feel like usurp the place that the black woman is rightfully entitled to.
I just often saw it I saw feminism for white women as the Civil War in the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, they want to get away from their oppressive husbands, but they don't want to also admit that it's the whiteness that does it. It's not just the man part of them; it's the white part of them.
But then the other part of it I see is like when it comes to feminism, they want the authority without the responsibility. Like a man has the right to vote, but he has to get drafted. A woman has the right to vote, but she has no responsibility that comes with it.
A very caucus aspect, if you ask
me. Andrew, let me ask you this question. Honestly, objectively speaking on this, if you can, what percentage of men, I probably should say subjective, but what percentage of men do you think are good men for dating? Let's just say black men. Let's just shorten the pot a little bit. Give
I-
give
I-
give a 10-point differential on your percentage if you can. You know, like between 10 and 20 or 50, 60, something like that.
it's hard to give a solid number because you got to think about it. When you deal with a woman, you can be a good man based on the woman you dealing with.
No, I'm just meaning what a good man is in your definition. What a good man, not what a woman thinks.
Does it have to be an age group
No,
of men?
no.
Okay, so like, I'm gonna go 30.
Between 20 and 30 or 30 and 40?
I'm gonna go 30 and 40.
30 and 40. Okay. That's still below the majority, and that's fine. I could agree with it's probably
But
below.
I'm gonna go 30 and 40 because the way the times are. Like we have to think about the way times are. We as a society we bred a great group of weaker men.
Mhm. I can agree with that.
Yeah. And it's just we don't really teach men to have a purpose. Because a lot of times if you have a purpose, a woman will deal with you a woman will deal with you if you have a purpose. Like because a lot of time, even though you can be a good man, but if you don't have a purpose and you spending your time with her, she's gonna look at you like, man, what the fuck is you doing?
Damn right.
Yeah. And what's happened is our purpose has been turned into women. That's what our purpose has been. That's why a lot of them is on
Money, cash, hoe.
Instagram, OnlyFans and stuff like that, and in the songs, just like what LT just said, we have regulated our purpose
Well,
to
things are
be
the same
what
thing.
women want, or what kind of woman we can get. You know, so that's been basically our only purpose. It seems.
And
like.
I think, but that's because we kind of transform into a more gynocentric society.
I agree with that. But where do you think that came from, though? Who trained us to go that way?
Well, if you really think about, because when you, especially as Black society,
We
when
weren't
you
trained,
think
we were
about
programmed.
Same thing.
part of it, but also I say feminism and Marxism.
That too. I was going to simplify it. A lot of boys being raised by single mothers.
That too.
And
But you have to think of, like, if you think, especially if you were Black, think about back in the day, your actual masculine male role model that you saw on the TV sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
How many can you actually name?
A Black one. Let me see.
A Black one, a masculine one, without being dumb,
without him being too goofy. Like, because immediately I started thinking Fresh Prince, but role model. He's a kid. He's figuring things out like me in a sense.
Like a dad. Like let's go to the family shows. Like a dad.
Okay, John Amos, of course, and they killed him off.
First things first. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
We'll go Uncle Phil. I go Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow, yeah, but he was always made to be kind of dumb, and
they always made them chubby and made them a joke in some way, shape, or form.
But the thing about Carl, when Carl got serious, he was serious.
Yeah, it was just
with Urkel. Was he ever serious with Harry?
No, he was serious. You remember the episode when he kicked Eddie out the house for being drunk?
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah. Kick Eddie out. He was serious with them.
And then when he did give, and beyond that, when he did have a talk, he did set a boundary. He set a clear boundary.
I mean,
like, he was I don't include Cliff Huxtable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't include Cliff Huxtable because Claire ran that house.
Nah, Cliff did his thing, man.
I think Harriet ran the house too. Harriet, I wear the pants in the family, and what I say goes.
Raven ran the house.
But when Carl said what he said, she didn't go against it.
Who else? Kyle Barker. Always looked up to Kyle Barker from Living Single. He's always been there.
Yeah. Kyle Barker was like a great example of the professional.
He was, like, honestly, for real. Like, honestly, I looked. Overton was cool as fuck because even though he was a simpleton, and I hate to put it in those, he was still humble. He was kind, and he treated his woman well. He loved his, he was a simple man of simple means, but that brought him much satisfaction. That was his purpose. He was a handyman. He was a fix-it man, and you couldn't tell him that he wasn't making people's lives better by fixing their shit.
But then also the other thing with Overton was it made the blue collar worker look bad, in a sense where we just
made him look dumb. Definitely, it made him look dumb. It made
Rock. Remember that?
Rock. Yeah.
I don't remember. I ain't watched Brock. I watched Malcolm
No.
and Eddie though. I don't really remember it though.
Rock was a solid man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Julius. Everybody hates Chris.
Yeah. I'll give you
Cheating,
that one.
but he care about his family.
I'll give you that one. It's a
Care
good
about his
example.
family.
And what is Blackish? I don't know if you want to put that
Oh
one
yeah,
in.
yeah,
Release.
yeah. And I like Black.
Anthony Anderson. I don't know his character's name.
Dre. Very
Okay.
generic black man name. It's short for Andre. It's Andre.
But you know the funny thing, like when we talk about Good Times, when we talk about James Evans, the people now would look and see James Evans as mean because most people haven't seen how men are really operated.
Yeah, they would say that's toxic masculinity. They would, you know what I'm saying? But
Oh no, we saw that
Oh,
recently in Color Purple.
need more James. We need more James today for these kids.
they killed him right off, right on the TV
Yeah.
screen. Called the
Yeah.
show good. I like for y'all to grew up in the 70s. I don't know how y'all sat there on the TV
Y'all.
screen and watched that.
Y'all.
Like, because they literally like there was nothing good times about the show.
I mean, it showed the
Ironically,
the black family back in the days in the 70s and
Ain't you
yeah,
lucky?
well,
you
like
got
that.
a
See,
show?
that was
It kept
that's
it real. That show was realistic.
it was programming too, I would say. Like
Yeah,
FCC
but
said,
the-
Mama
you
was
know the-
abusive.
yeah, you post the good times, temporary layoffs, like, oh, that's just what we go through. So let's just be happy with it.
Abusive moms and dead dads.
Good
It
times.
sounds like a Tyler Perry.
Abusive
this-
moms. Oh, you talking about Penny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
How
things
you-
like that happen.
I
That's
get
true.
it, but it's a early, like
It
it's
was
literally,
realistic.
it's the early stages of, like they put in front of the screen for us. We're gonna kill your fathers off, and we're going to sell you trauma as entertainment.
Like, pretty sure I don't mind that it happened on there. It was every episode though. It's like soon as like they were starting to elevate, something would happen to bring them
But
back
isn't
down.
that life?
No,
Isn't
not
that
every
every-
day,
life?
not
That's
every
life.
episode.
That's
That's
life
not life
with-
for everybody. I'm gonna be honest. That's not life
Not
for everybody. Look at
every
the white
day.
It
sitcom.
happens. Soon as one thing happens, something else comes along. Soon as you fix one thing, here comes something else. If it ain't, and
You
you
ever watch Silver
said
Spoon
before, if it ain't one thing, it's another, right? We all
or
think
like Different Strokes? Like
Yeah,
they,
but
on
it
Different
was
Strokes,
every
they had good
episode.
times.
That's
It was
life.
every episode though. It wasn't like, oh, one day they
What-
happen and
y'all-
then one day they have
what
good
year
news.
was
Rooster
y'all-
always
what
had a
year
good
y'all-
day.
When were y'all born? Because I gotta be
telling
older
you.
than y'all.
And most people
Yeah.
forget Florida Evans was the real villain of the show.
I saw that on Instagram. You must have seen that on Instagram.
But when you really think about it, it makes sense.
What was Florida Evans doing on the show? What she did?
Because she was more like,
Negative.
it wasn't like she was negative. She just believed in Jesus and miracles happen and stuff like
White
that.
Jesus.
James was a hustler. He won at the pool, got the rent. And she just, she was just a praying mom. That's all. She was more.
Think about the opportunities on the episodes that they had, and she was the one that kept them from leaving their situation they was in.
James wanted to go away with his friend who was a pastor that was stealing people money, and she stopped him. That something was wrong with that. The man was a phony, and
But
wasn't no good, and he listened to his wife because he knew.
These sound like terrible people as characters. Like,
But
why did they write?
Here's the thing. Most people forget when we look at other races and we look at generational wealth. Some of them started out in crime. When you look at Trump, his great grandfather was a pimp, had brothels in the West.
Shit,
That
any
led
white
to the
man is
money.
probably a descendant of a slave owner. Let's come on.
Yeah. So what did they say? What did they say in the beginning of The Godfather when you first watch it? Generational wealth starts with a crime. Basically, something like that. Paraphrase.
America was built on taking this land from other people. Like anyone that says, "Oh, I'm a descendant of the Quakers who first settled in these lands," so you're one of the first people who stole something from here.
We're getting away from good.
Yeah, we are. We're getting away from. But
Yeah.
Good Time seems like a terrible time, and it seems like the beginning of them selling.
It was rough.
But it's real. But like,
Ghetto.
look at these white sitcoms. Look at these other sitcoms where they're not experiencing hardship every episode. Their episodes are literally about the mundanities of life, about just literally growing, like one of my favorite shows growing up was Boy Meets World, because I remember my older brother and sister would watch the Wonder Years, and the dude that did the voiceover for Wonder Years, the dude Fred Savage, his little brother Ben Savage star Boy Meets World. So I always watch Boy Meets World, and it was not trauma every episode.
But
It was not
look at
always
the
about.
Jeffersons moving on up. They were rich. I
And
mean,
yeah, that's one of those
every show,
instances.
every show has
Good
its
point.
own message behind it. They made it. They
That
were
is, and
rich.
that's one of the rare episode, or one of the, not rare, because that's the other thing they do. They take something that is the opposite of something and turn it into a show. They took black people and poverty, something that goes together, and gave us Good Times. Then they took black people and wealth and gave us the Jeffersons. And that's why that was funny, because in the 70s, nobody was used to seeing rich black people.
I'll
Not
give you a
like that.
better comparison. Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son, they were broke. They lived in the hood. But every episode didn't end in turmoil like Good Times did.
But Good Times had a message behind every. If you watched it, there was a message behind every story.
That you'll never get out and nothing will ever be successful for black people.
They
living in-
made it. They made it at the end. You don't remember when Thelma
happened?
married the
Dude went-
football player? And
Didn't he get
was-
hurt?
He died,
Yes, they
though,
got
man.
out of the ghetto. Watch the whole damn thing.
Didn't he get hurt though?
He got hurt, but
Mhm.
he got recruited again, and he got them out the ghetto. That was the last episode.
So you
Come on,
saying
Good-
one episode?
What are you?
out of
Hey,
years.
are you
Time
guys?
out.
Here's what makes all of that null and void, because
He
all
got
the
them
people.
out, he got them out the ghetto, and Florida and Walona were neighbors again. They moved into a better place and found out they were neighbors, and that ended the whole sitcom.
Good Times
Here's
is
what
just
makes
no fall
all
without
of
the
that-
cocaine.
All of that is null and void, because none of the people involved with Good Times has ever been paid adequately for their work on Good Times. So
Well, something happened.
We're just talking about the
James,
show.
That's why
Yeah.
they had to take him off the show. Something happened, and
What? John Amos.
yeah, they had to kill him off the show. So something happened with that, and
Because
He
he
did,
didn't agree with the
because they were-
direction it was going. One because of the buffoonery and shucking and jiving with his son on the show. He
JJ?
didn't-
JJ.
yeah, JJ. He
Oh,
thought
no, man.
it was too much about comedy, and I mean, not too much about comedy. It was too much about placating to the crowd. It wasn't enough about the family, and it wasn't about the mother and father like it was originally supposed to be. He argued for that, and maybe he argued it in a hostile way, and
Right.
eventually
Yeah.
they kicked him off.
yeah,
And
The only
even
thing I
that's
thought
why
about was
eventually,
like-
old girl, the mother on the show, that's eventually why she left, because she didn't like the direction it was going, and she left. I think probably about the 4th or 5th season. She came back after a while,
right,
but
and then towards the end, they got out of the ghetto.
And think about it. Your main actors are saying,
Oh.
we don't like the direction that the show is going. You're doing too much of this thing that is negative for us as actors and us as a community. Okay, we'll just kill your character off. Okay, you can just leave. Whatever. But we're going to keep this same storyline of pushing. Yeah, you're going to think they're going to get out, but no, they're right back in. It's literally crabs in a barrel, but with a laugh track.
I
and
mean,
this is
every show.
Yeah.
Look at Archie Bunker. He was a bigot.
yeah.
He was prejudiced. So in the
And
same
look what that has done to white men.
show, see, he made it. The producer did all those shows. He did.
That's
Norman
why
Lear,
white men are so mad that they
he
can't
died.
just
Did
grab
he
women
die?
by the pussy no
who,
more.
Archie Bunker or
No,
Norman Lear.
No,
Norman Lear.
Yeah, he did all.
Yeah,
of
he just recently died.
Jefferson, yeah, the Jeffersons. He did all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Sanford
had to have,
Son, yeah.
yeah. So you had to have something. Look at Sanford's son. I mean, look how they lived, and they seem to be okay. I mean, these
Yeah,
are
I love
Because
Sanford.
he
really
owns
happen
his
in life.
company.
People, it seems like it could be people that don't have much are more happier than those who have everything. It could be like that
Fred
too.
Sanford owns his tow truck.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
okay,
mind the
okay,
Sanford and
okay.
Son show. It just, to me, it just felt like Good Times. The irony of the name, which I guess that's what they were playing on. When as soon as something seems to be going good, it was taken back, and it seems like it almost seemed like a message. Like soon as we black people are trying to get out and do something good, we're gonna be knocked back down. But let's just laugh about it and just move on with it. Sanford and Son yeah, bad things happen on that show, but it wasn't like every episode. It was episodes where it ended out where they were happy, and it, you could say, well, they were happy with meager earnings, but at least they were happy, and something bad didn't always have to happen. They were tragedy, like Fred Sanford didn't die off, or Esther didn't die off, or get killed off, or nothing like that. Grady didn't get killed off,
Yeah, it wasn't the show wasn't about their woes. It wasn't about, oh my God, our tow truck company is gonna get taken from us, or oh my God, we're gonna
But
like it wasn't.
these are things that happen in life. Like
Yeah.
No, you gotta.
when I look at Good Times and when Evans died, I think about my mother. My mother was 50 when my father died. My father was 56. So she had to raise 5 kids. And she had to get that call. The police came to the house. I won't forget it. And had to tell my mother that your husband just had a heart attack. So, I mean, these are things in life that happen.
I agree.
So
I get it.
Good Times was a reality, was things that really took place in life in the ghetto. She had to raise all these kids by herself. So I respected that show because I know things like that were real. There's times you had neighbors that probably ate dog food. If you remember that episode, their neighbor didn't have any money and she had to eat dog food. So, I mean, these things took place. People were being robbed.
But you see the negative stream of things that you're mentioning, though.
Stuff that's going on today.
But that's what I'm
programming.
saying, though. You see the negative stream of things that you're mentioning, and you see the fact that that's still stuff that's going on today. We're almost caught in a time loop of the same negative things that have been happening to us for decades, still happening to us, and us still turning up to see it on the TV and on the movie screen as we turned up for the. But I mean, I get, but it's real. But we used to watch TV to escape reality. You know what I'm saying?
You listen to rap music, right? Do you not listen to rap music?
I've been trying to drift away from it. Like me personally.
On these rap songs, what do they talk about? But you still turn to Hot 97.
No, but me personally, I can say no that I don't, because I'm there's a level of
sex and women and screwing and drugs and killing.
That's bad too, though.
What is the
and that's what I've always been saying. There's a level of there's a level of non-authenticity that is going into
bad.
That is also bad
in the world.
Hold on, sex ain't that bad.
See, that's the thing, though. We're just ending with it's bad, but it's real, so let it rock. Like, no, it can't just be continued. We can't just keep, because in another 10 years, when they re-release The Color Purple again in surround sound Dolby Digital for the 10th animation release, like, we're just gonna say, oh my God, yeah, these things still happen. Because I remember when that happened to me. Like, it's always the negative emotions that we're drawing on to make our entertainment from.
The Color Purple is a trash movie.
Oh my God, Mr.
Because it only highlights the worst parts of what it means to be black, or what they want us to think black being is.
The Color Purple disrespected black men.
Go ahead, Parisi.
Black men disrespected themselves. The Color Purple, those are the things that happened back then. Understand that. They did that.
So they were never good men then.
He sold.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
their money, they sold their family. That's what took place.
So I mean,
really happened.
How many of us had family members that, like, yeah, they sold my grandma to my grandfather.
It happened in the South in the slavery times. Those things took place.
This was not slavery times. And again, why do we want to show this to our children? Why do we want to reinvigorate these ideas for a new generation?
And then you have
because
to think
these things are happening, but why do we want to put these on the silver screen? Why is it always the story of black tragedy? It's never black triumph. We don't have story like name the last black triumph where we won, where we triumphed over our oppressors. When's the last media you watched that depict that story?
Titanic was bad.
Huh?
The Titanic was bad. And think about the Titanic. If you know anything about the Titanic, they did those
not black triumph.
They had the lower class. Beat up on the Titanic. They had the lower class people at the bottom, middle class in the middle, and you was rich on the top. And do you know the lower class people, they had gates. They had it where they were locked in, where they couldn't come upstairs. So I mean,
And
history is history.
you're right. But here's the difference here.
I don't
You
get
can
how the
point to
relationship-
many other movies that are not African American where triumph, there's a fair amount of triumph versus tragedy where you can't point to that for us.
Like we don't win at the end. We don't have a.
Well,
we don't have.
She left Mister.
Hold on,
Let's
time out. We got to
So
think
she's not
about this.
divorced. So she's now a single. Now she's alone.
But we had to hurt.
She's-
We had to talk bad about somebody to make someone else look successful, though.
Yeah,
Why
and then
do-
we
why
had to put this.
is it
We had to
freedom
put this in
to-
context.
Why is it never freedom from the white man? It's always freedom from our black abusive husband, our black abusive father, our black abusive this. Why is it never freedom from the white oppressors?
And then we gotta-
movies. There are a lot of movies that
There's not a lot. That's the thing, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then you have to
Absurd.
think about The Color Purple. It was written by a woman that is a feminist that does not
There you
that
go.
never had a relationship with a black man. She was married to a white man, has a
A lot
half
of
black
these
child, half black daughter that she doesn't speak to because her daughter decides to be feminine and take a more traditional role in the family. So how could we have a proper depiction of a healthy black
none of
relationship in
y'all
The Color
like
Purple
Color
by a
Purple?
woman that doesn't even have a relationship with a black man?
So nobody liked The Color Purple. None of
Hey,
y'all
hey,
sat up
hey.
there and enjoyed the movie The Color Purple.
Hey,
Nobody
hey,
didn't
hey,
like
We
The
are
Color
black
Purple.
It's
men. We are
trash.
vilified in the color purple. Like, why would as I would not take my if I had a son, I would not take him to go see that movie because I just know he would look at me and say, "Daddy, why are men bad?" Because this movie is literally. I remember watching this movie as a young man,
But
along
you'll
with
take
Eve
them, but you'll
Bayou.
let them see Training Day with Denzel Washington being a crooked
I
cop.
wouldn't do that. That's an assumption. I wouldn't do that. I don't think there's this thing called the rating system. So children should only see movies that are permitted for a G-rated
There you
audience.
go.
But there were women who took their child to go see The Color Purple on Christmas Day.
Mhm.
They took their children to go see a black tragedy story where it's primarily black men being the oppressors to black women, not white men, not white women, not our actual oppressors, but us, the black men that they're supposed to be looking for in partnership. But this is why nobody thinks black men are good, or there we think such the percentage is so low because we subscribe to media that the only black man we kind of respect is a dead one, like James on Good Times.
Yep.
The one of the critiques I have for Breezy
They're good.
versus like a Tyler Perry movie, like they show bad black guys on Tyler Perry, like what is it? Why Did I Get Married? Okay, the guy that she was married with was an asshole, but she found a good guy in the end and they get married. If The Color Purple did that, then I might be okay with it. But there's no good guys in sight on Color Purple. In fact, Celie pretty much was gay. Well, she won't pretty much. She was gay, and Sugar Avery being gay.
Yeah, because in the book they have a lesbian relationship.
It was like there's no good guys in the entirety of the film. If she found somebody, it's like okay, there's hope after all. I like
But that's
just
how
don't
it
be like
was
Mister.
back then. It was like that back then.
No good guys.
No,
I'm not
but
saying
no,
there was no
no.
good guys, but it was like that. You know,
I
you gotta
agree.
understand.
But
I
no,
agree.
time out.
As slaves,
Hold on, let her
you know,
finish.
you were afraid to love your family and treat them right because you know that the white man would separate y'all. So the family was tough on each other. It probably was hard on each other. It was hard back then. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't, I'm not saying there were no good black men. You can't say that.
That's what it looks like.
But the movie,
Yeah.
this is a movie that this is what happened in that particular time with her. And
So why don't we
that's
have
how it was.
movies? I'm sorry to cut your wisdom. Why don't we have movies of a time where black men were good? Name one movie of a time where all the black men are just good. All the black men are upstanding citizens. Like it's a 100%. It's a black utopia. The only movie I can think like that, I'll throw you a bone in recent consciousness, is the original Black Panther film. And
That
even
was-
that, they displayed
comic book.
different elements of black men.
You
You
know,
got to see
and-
different shades of us, but you got to see good ones.
Yeah, now that had to be a comic book.
And it had to be a fictional character. But there are times in our history, like we haven't really gotten a The only one you could say are the movies where we meet a tragic end. Selma. Yeah, that's a triumphant character, Martin Luther King, a man who gets assassinated even though his message was about peace and togetherness. Malcolm X, that's pretty triumphant. A man whose, mission was about peace and togetherness that got him assassinated.
But these are true stories. So
And their tragedies. This is the consequence for Black men when we try to be upright and righteous. They kill us. And this is the stories that they show us. A Black man. Like, I don't want to spoil it for nobody, but go take a look at the Book of Clarence. Biblical
Still
times,
haven't
it's based upon what they did to one Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with the experience being told. And again, this is a fictional book from Alice Walker and somewhat based on her life, what she went through. I think somewhat was based on her. I think she lived in North Carolina part of her life or whatever. And of course, she had her own happy ending in there, but it ain't for us. For Black men going to go watch that film, we're turned off by that film because it's like, damn, were there no good Black men back then? Because I talked to my mother who talked about what she went through back then. And I mean, she didn't live all the way back in that time, but she, through other people she talked to back then, she's like, it wasn't all like that. It's like there were good Black men back there too. Of course, there were some bad ones, but it just, for us, where we have a limited amount of resources of what good Black men look like, not what hip hop men, or not what they play on music in hip hop. It's disenchanting for us to see something like that. That's all I'm saying.
And I compare it
There
like
a good side too. Yeah.
I compare it like this. Who's ever seen that movie, She Gotta Have It? Spike Lee movie.
I remember that joint.
Okay. What if men had the same energy for Nora on She Gotta Have It the way women have the energy for Mr.?
Mm-hmm.
What if they had that same amount of energy? Y'all women would be outraged. Like if we just look talking about, yeah, She Gotta Have It. We like that movie because all them women was hoes. They be all 3-4 dudes. If they had that same energy,
I mean, we do that.
Y'all
That's where we come in at hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's our hip hop.
y'all do that anyway. What you talking about?
No, we don't. No, hold up.
Versus y'all are called empowering.
We don't do it. We do it in hip hop, but when you think about it, before a certain time, hip hop did have love songs.
It did.
And positive.
Even some songs now, hey, I met this girl, or like they talk about being with one woman. Now, if you look as for rapping, you talk about the actual personal experience. If I go to the club and I'm a rapper and I got a whole bunch of jewels on, yeah, there's gonna be a certain amount of low vibrational women that's gonna be drawn to me. But
we have a tendency to wear our wealth, and that attracts men and women that are seeking that.
Yeah. But when you talking about something like if we look at like a She Gotta Have It or A Color Purple, we talking about the average man and woman. If we looked at like the average woman the same way women looked at the average man back then at Mr., y'all would be outraged, ready to cancel the movie. Man, y'all gotta cancel Spike Lee and She Gotta Have It.
Yeah, Spike Lee made the kind of films. Well, they always been trying to cancel Spike Lee. I'm not gonna lie. Spike Lee always been.
That's what I'm saying.
It's taking him 30 years to win a damn Oscar, and he got it for Black Klansman. Dope film. Awesome motherfucking motion picture. But yeah, our images in films like this, they usually depict us. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's what took place in the South.
Not all of that, because
Not
again,
all of that.
I'm from the South, so it's like, again, if I was the male that went to go see that movie,
I'm talking about that time.
Not even at that
but
time.
I have family that grew up in that time, so it's like, is my grandfather one of those men? Is my great grandfather one of those men? And do I have men like that in my family?
What took place in that time?
Okay, but it's not that isolated though, because if it was only that isolated, it wouldn't be such a universal story.
If that is the case, it happened like that in the South, then damn, I guess we are improvement then. Because if we
all the good men are in the North,
25% now, then it must have been like 2% back then.
But if so, it only happened. Or are we saying it only happens like all the good men are regional now? Like that's a regional thing.
Yeah. Stay away from the South. You know, them men gonna
Right.
beat your ass.
You know what I'm saying? It sends a very generalized connotation of where to find this kind of interaction. Oh, it came from this kind of men. But here's the thing you don't get. It's not you're just secluding it to that time, because those people still had families. So those people from that time in the South, they had kids that grew up. Maybe they stayed in the South. Maybe they moved up north. Maybe they moved out west. They gave birth to the next generation of people. They gave birth to the next generation of people that these things are ancestral to them, even though we don't acknowledge them. That these things are in our family tree and in our history. As you're saying, it's real, it's real, it's real. These things really happen in life. So, and they're still happening today. So it's, again, the fact that that's what we want to put on the screen and display, because representation matters. And that is the image of Black men that is mainly being represented and shown and projected globally. A Christmas Day film of tragedy? Like, think about that. Christmas Day, the day, like the most supposed to be happiest day of the damn year you spending with your family, but you're going to watch a movie literally about the worst kind of Black family.
Yeah.
All because of the Black man.
And I'll say this, and just like hip hop today, a lot of people complain about how bad the music is. Now, it's not like we didn't have music like we had back in the day. We had Lil' Kim, we had Foxy Brown, so we had people that were rapping like not exactly like Sexy Red, because they actually had skills with it. But they
Push
were
It Real Good. What was y'all talking about?
Content
Push It
was
Real
there.
Good.
Salt and Pepper, yeah. The same content was there, but we had a fair balance. If we didn't want to listen to that, we could go to the conscious, positive rap. We could go to the drug rap. We could go to the party rap. We don't have that now. So that's why I say Color Purple seems so bad, because unlike white people who have a fair representation of different sides or a different outlet of emotions of what kind of people they have, we don't have that. It's our community. If we had that, then Color Purple wouldn't be so bad. That's all. You're right. And it doesn't always end up good. You're absolutely right. But we never show how it also ends up good in our community either. We always show how it ends up bad now. It seems
And
like
the real problem is how they say it's
so
common.
Yeah,
What's
we're
up?
oversaturated with the negativity. That's what we're saying. It's like we know
That's
men
all I'm saying.
have been overblowing over sexuality and materialism in hip hop.
Yeah.
We know
You're
and
absolutely
women
right.
have been attributing to it with the rise of hot girl summer and shit.
Yeah.
Everything is overblown and oversaturated. Now it's bleeding into the movie industry, and it's bleeding into the TV industry, and it's bleeding into the social media content creation industry, because it's literally just generating more of these fake ass skits that, you know, couples create of these, you know, oh my God, I just came home and my boyfriend was doing this. Y'all in the comments, what would you do? And it's a whole fucking video that everyone thinks is real, because we have the idea, oh, this really happens in life. So this video could be real. We talked about them a few times on here, and I figured out later on these motherfuckers was lying. They just wanted the clout. Like old girl that was lying about dude with the fucking AIDS. Like I don't really think we could say it's harder for women to date. Huh?
That wasn't true.
That was not true. And she was located in North Carolina. So if bad men come from the South, like the men in Color Purple, come on. Like she literally lied. She created and manifested a whole text message conversation with herself, masquerading as this young man, just to create the idea that he had a sexually transmitted disease, all because he wanted to remove himself of her toxicity. And it wasn't just as simple as him being able to just leave. Like you said to Andrew, it's like, well, see, that was on you. You were dealing with this kind of person and you should have known better. You kind of just made it seem like that's why men are kind of tired as well, because we're always expected to know better and be more responsible and be more aware of the women that we choose. Like, women don't also lie to us and lie to the people around us about us.
Black women don't lie.
This
like
woman
black
lied.
men don't cheat.
This woman lied.
Why are you smiling with that, Preezy? You smiling too hard about that.
We don't lie.
Well,
let's
might be
move
mixed,
on.
and it's
You know what I'm saying? Black men don't cheat. And if a woman can't cook, it ain't cheating, it's surviving.
Wow.
Damn, Andrew. God.
That's Mr. You can call him Mr. That's what you call him.
I'm the 2024 Mister. I just don't hit women.
That's good.
But I'm the new Mister. We just bring a new gram of toxicity in there. Sensational.
All right, got another video we're gonna play. I guess I'm gonna share this one too. One of my videos are not popping up. But share the screen is Cardi B speaking on the faithful men she has dated in the past and how that turned out for her. Let me share that screen right quick. May have to turn it up. Okay, here we go.
I have dated men that were extremely faithful to me.
Were they ugly?
No, oh my God. Thank you, super faithful to me. But it's like a lot of people, you know, when that whole cheating scandal came out, a lot of people was like, you deserve somebody faithful. But just because somebody like extremely faithful don't make you happy, because
that's true.
The guys that were extremely faithful to me, it just didn't work out. You just need to find somebody that you really in love with and make you happy.
Okay, and that's with that. Let me clear that off right quick. Go back to my regular screen. The hell did I take this shit off?
That's a danger. See, the way people caption they fucking videos are the way that they get clicks. Because that's a dangerous title. Like she was unhappy dating faithful men. Again, that'll enforce the rhetoric that men have in their mind that I need to mistreat women in order to get respect and attention from women. Because if I'm faithful to her, she not gonna fuck with me. She gonna cheat on me if I'm faithful to her. Think about the mind fuck that is.
Yeah. It just seems like with me, when listening to this, she has to go to an extreme and not a middle ground somewhere, based on who she's dating now. And from every rumor I ever hear, that the man is always cheating on her. Seems like she just can't find a middle ground. Just find someone that has the things that she wants and doesn't cheat. The guys that are not cheating and staying faithful, it sounds like they must be just boring people. So she got to go to the person that creates excitement. But unfortunately, with that excitement, he wants to find excitement in other women. It seems like there is no middle ground with Cardi B when it comes to this. Unfortunately, what does y'all guys think about the message that she said here? Maybe I'm getting it wrong.
I think she needs to expand. I think the clip was too short. Like I think she needs, or probably that. I don't think that's what she meant. I think the thought that she was trying to express was, even though I've been with faithful men, something about it didn't work. And what a lot of, not just women, but a lot of people don't say is, it might have been me as if the reason that relationship didn't work. Like, we never think about that. We never think that, yeah, this person was good for me and good to me, but I decided to end things with them, or they decided to end things with me. Or if this is the case, she decided to end things with them. We never think it's because we weren't emotionally mature enough to actually sustain being in a relationship with this kind of person. Because we weren't seeking excitement. We were still seeking drama. We were still in the FOMO stage, fear of missing out on what everyone else was doing. We were scared. Like, a lot of us have fear of commitment. A lot of us, when we feel as though we're getting too close to being settled in, we just run the fuck away from it. And that's a natural part of life. That's what happens. I think that's the thought that she was actually expressing, but I think that the interviewers wanted to put that idea across, that because that's not what she said at all. Like, I just don't think the thought that they're having is what she even fucking meant. It could be. I don't know. I'm not in that I don't know.
It feels like a Russell Wilson reverse. Like, she got with Russell Wilson's in the beginning, then she went to Future in the end.
Yeah.
But I imagine you love that person because of their loyalty and faithfulness. I mean, because you know what I'm saying? Again, it goes back to, so what do you consider a good man? Or what are the traits and qualities of which you would incorporate in a man. Because if faithful, loyal, honest isn't a part of them, can what you're looking for even be considered worth finding?
And
It's
I'm
like a
not
lot
saying
of men say
yeah.
we want a good woman, but if we're not looking for a faithful, loyal, smart, intelligent, caring, compassionate woman, all we say is, "Well, I just want a bad bitch. The you know what I'm saying? I just want you know what I'm saying? I just want someone I really love and that I fuck with." That's
Yeah.
it.
And I'm not saying she should stay with somebody just because they're faithful. That shouldn't be the only reason you should stay with somebody.
Of course.
But I think the biggest reason to not be with somebody would be one of the biggest reasons is that they are unfaithful. But I guess she finds more reasons to stay with who she's staying with now, regardless of him being faithful or not. And of course, all marriages don't stay faithful the entirety of the marriage. So maybe she's actually one of the ones that's going to stick it out through thick and through thin. So I guess that can be commendable and respectable. But I don't know, what could you be looking for to make you stay with somebody that mistreats you this way? What keeps somebody around besides, I guess, sex?
So how else were you being mistreated? If faithful isn't the only thing that you're worried about, how else were you being mistreated?
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's all. But some people, but some women, that's enough.
But she said that so that leads me to believe that she'll probably end back up with Offset, because if you'd rather be with someone that you really love and vibe with, even if they're not faithful, then why are you leaving Offset in the first place then?
She's not leaving Offset.
What's the matter? Like that's why I don't get why we even listen to these dumb and Cardi B's not dumb, actually. She's really really educated. That's why I don't get why we be listening to these highly educated playing dumb motherfuckers.
It's real.
But you know the thing I think about is like often, and some of what she's right on. I think what they trying to portray is somewhat right. When we come in and we say, "Hey, we're faithful," it's not that we're faithful. It's just that a lot of times, as men, the guys that we think of that would picture being faithful, we really don't have much to offer in terms of like on a striking it, making them have feeling on an emotional level, like striking those same feelings. A lot of times they looking for some type of emotion to be hit emotionally, by not hit like physically, but like that emotional thing from a man that cheats. It's just like they can't really. I'm trying to think how to say this on an emotional level. Like if you got a guy that cheats, she likes the guy, but it's just we're like as a guy, if you're faithful and you're just a good guy, a lot of times you're boring. And it's not that you're boring because you don't just to be boring. A lot of it's just you don't really understand you as a person and what you have to offer to women, or really show your real true personality. A lot of times you get these guys that's kind of toxic. They're really charismatic. They really bring their personality out. So it's just it's easier for a woman to gravitate towards him. Cause like, damn, he's exciting. He really got a purpose. He's doing this, he's doing that. Dang, he's cheating on me, but he's a lot better to offer than these guys. And sometimes we look at it like, oh, the low self-esteem, low value, but it's just sometimes it's just they offer a lot more than somebody that would be faithful, or like what we would consider the average guy.
I have one problem though with guys that have, and you said you went into your revenge phase. Usually that happens because the women like Cardi B is probably not a good woman for you in the future, long term. Didn't want to date you, and then you turn nasty. You turn to a bad guy per se, and then you get those types of Cardi B, whatever like that. But it's only going to be for a short term because it ain't good for you. I have a problem with guys having a problem with that, because it's not. She shouldn't be the one you should be chasing for in the first place. But of course, when you're young, you don't see that type of things unless you have guidance and have somebody tell you this is what you should be looking for in a wife. You look for what looks good on the outside, and then you try to domesticate that, and it usually doesn't work. Unless it's this case, like let's say Cardi B, she's trying to domesticate Offset, and it ain't working for her. She had somebody that was domesticated for her, but he was boring to her. She didn't want him. So that's why a lot of times guys that probably are good guys end up trying to be like Offset in the end, and then it doesn't work out for either one of them.
But then
So she left him because he stopped cheating? Because he was definitely cheating on her.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is
I'm saying she
Okay,
went
go ahead.
for a bad guy. I'm just saying she didn't start off. Per se, she went off with a guy that's cheating on her, but she didn't stay with the people that were faithful to her. And those people that were faithful to her are probably treating the next woman like crap, based on what she did to them.
But I know for me, I push back on the whole thing being young and finding a wife. I think as a man, you shouldn't find a wife until into your mid-30s anyway.
Okay.
But I explain why. Like if you're in your career, you really don't hit the peak of your career to be in a position where you could be a real family man and provide and be all. You could be like at least like 30s, mid-30s, approaching 40. And plus, you're gonna need some experience. I think a lot of the issue sometimes with men is just a lack of experience in dealing with women.
Mm-hmm. That too.
Right.
That
It's so jarring because at the beginning of this, like the first segment we talked about was two men saying that overwhelmingly in their inbox, women just want to be treated right. And now here you have Cardi B, what many would call the alpha woman, because she is successful. She has the bank account that many women would want to have. She has the lifestyle that many women would want to have. She has the success and accolades that many women would want to have. She's saying that, well, honestly, you don't even gotta be faithful to me, which again, so what is treating good? What is being treated right? And what is like, because it's so jarring that these are the two stories we have. Like Cardi B is saying one thing, and she is a women's, and these apparently these two random dudes said their inboxes are filled with other women's saying this thing. So
But you got to consider Cardi's a stripper, and like, do strippers have healthy relationships?
So I go back to the other thing. It seems as though it's 15 to 25% for both ends, because these are the women that women are listening to more predominantly than the happily married women.
Yeah.
The choosing, the men and the choosing of the men is low.
Yeah, I think if you listen to a stripper for dating advice, that's a big problem.
A lot of people do that because it's look, that a lot of people say stripping is real. I have friends that are strippers. A lot of people will say.
I mean, stripping is real, but I mean,
a lot of girls like to act like strippers. Like literally, the advent of social media just makes everyone feel like, hey, let a challenge come out. Like let a hashtag stripper something come out. Everybody on your timeline will be a stripper real quick. Abhor it and completely rebuke it in every other sense. But let a challenge where they can get some clout and some attention from someone they're trying to snag attention from in a toxic manner, they'll do it.
They want to be a sex worker till you transact with them.
All right. That's not much, I don't think, to say on that one. Freezy, you want to say a couple things before we move on to the next thing?
No, I'm good.
She good. Okay. Well, this one's gonna be based on you too, because I hate to keep picking on you, Freezy. This one,
that's all right.
This is coming from a woman, and I just want to hear your perspective on this one. This lady is talking about red flags when it comes to dating men. So, we're going to hear a little more in-depth perception of what it is to find a good man or a bad man for that matter. So, and Andrew, you might be one of these, you might not. LT, you might be one of these, you might not. Let's see what this lady has to say. She's done some social media videos before. She was a psychiatrist, if I'm not mistaken. She had a lot of videos talking bad about guys, and somebody reported her, and then she ended up getting fired because of the video she kept making about it. But I don't know exactly. Maybe I'll show her name on the video when I pop it up. But let me put the video up here right quick. Let's see what she got to say.
Bitches, how you doing? So I'm sick as fuck. Should I be laying the fuck down? Absolutely. But I feel like I need to share some very important information with y'all, because y'all come over here trying to like better yourselves, right? And we talk about dating and shit, right? Well, I'm gonna give you a list. I have a running list of types of dudes that I stopped dating to achieve enlightenment, maximum level peace. Like, my hair not falling out, none of that crazy shit. Strap in, bitch. I was gonna do this in parts, but this shit gonna save a life. So share this shit. And if you dating a motherfucker like this, ooh, bitch, run. All right, number 1. Types of men I stopped dating to find peace. You can find this list on Twitter. I just feel like it didn't get the recognition that it deserves, so I'm gonna address it over here. Number 1. Broke boys / bums. My ex was a bum and I paid for everything. You don't want to do that. Narcissistic. My ex was also a fucking narcissist. It is a fate worse than death. Promise you that. Entitled. If a man does not know how to take no, shit, I'm out of breath, for an answer.
Okay, I think it's probably lucky that video ran out. There was more to it, but I couldn't find the rest of this video, I guess.
You don't need. I know this woman.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking. Yeah.
She was the therapist that said that she will no longer take black men as her clients.
No, she was the one that said black men need therapy. Then she got an article written on her, and then the job she was working for fired her.
Is
Because
that
she
what
said,
happened?
hey, black men need no therapy so they can develop the emotional vocabulary to talk to their woman. But she was up there like, yeah, so you can talk to your bitch. And I'm sitting there like, huh? But then like me, I'm not like, I'm one of those guys that kind of pushes back against
I've
therapy.
seen a different video of her saying something completely different.
Yeah, because that's really the original video they got her. Because like me, I'm a
Oh,
man.
no, no.
I push back on therapists. So I got a lot of therapists blocked me on TikTok because I asked the question and I explained that the therapy model was originally designed for women. It was never designed for men.
Interesting. Okay. Well, based on that little bit we saw, for Preezy, this is for you. Narcissism, I know was one of them. Bum men, I know was another one. She said a third one. Broke. I already said that one. Bum. What was the third one?
Oh, entitled.
Entitled. Yes, entitled was the third one of red flags to avoid.
Oh yeah, that was the wrong woman. My bad, Joe. Nicole Lewis was the woman I was thinking of.
Okay. What do you think, Preezy? You think these are red flags that would say, go away from dating this guy? Entitlement, bum, narcissist.
Yeah, narcissistic people are bad. It's look up narcissistics and you'll see narcissistic. It's they're you want to stay away from them. It's terrible.
Have you dated a narcissistic guy before?
Yeah.
Okay. What was that like? What was that experience like?
Oh boy. They're never wrong.
Oh yeah.
They have to feel entitled.
It's kind of the same. Yeah. All right.
What else? You're sending me back to a nightmare. Never want to talk. They're not good communicators. They have no empathy. Like they just, it's all them, about them. They're liars. They're not good liars. They're pathological liars. Like a lot of times they lie for just no reason. It makes no sense. It's very stupid, and they don't know how to lie.
That probably goes with the not taking accountability.
Gaslighting, they gaslight. They're gaslight. If you look up gaslighting, they're manipulated. They're a mess, and those narcissists, they need help, and they don't realize that they need help or whatever's happened in their life. They tend to not seek help for it, and they just continue to go on. And what they do is, like, they really don't care because it's so quick for them to move on. And then they try to come back like nothing ever happened. They're just weird. They're just, if you can avoid it, I'm telling you, they are nuts. There are people that really, really need help. They really need therapy. They may not think they do, but they do. So you definitely, I speak that on my podcast. Look up narcissistic people. Narcissistic. I'm telling you, you probably dealt with one.
Oh yeah.
You see signs, I'm telling you, run. Because they will make you, they'll say things that you said that you never said. I'm telling you, it's a mental, they have mental problems. They have mental problems, but they don't realize it. Like, they really need help. Things could have happened in their life. They could have been hurt. You know, hurt people. So they could have been hurt and never got help for it. And so now they just carry this burden on them, and they feel like they could do whatever they want, say whatever they want. They don't care. If they care, they don't show it. And they're not good communicators. They think that every time you have a conversation, it's an argument. Like, they just can't, and they can't take criticism. I mean, I'm telling you, it's bad. So look it up. You see anybody like that, I'm telling you, I don't care how fine they are. I don't care what they got. Don't mess with a narcissistic person. You will be like, oh my God, like, it'll stress you out. They're not well. The other thing, being broke, she said being broke. I don't think anybody wants anybody that's broke. I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, come on, if I'm finding myself doing everything, that's a turnoff. Like, what? I gotta you ain't got money again? Damn, like, come on. No, I don't want anybody that is broke. Now, if you lost your job for whatever, you know, I got you.
Yeah, I think bum speaks to somebody who just wants to.
Now,
live.
what if it's a bum that treats you right?
A bum?
Yeah.
What if it's a bum that treats you right?
You got to define that. What do you mean, bum?
Yeah, somebody just stays at home, don't want to work. They just okay with not getting out of that lifestyle.
He's nice.
He could be.
He treats you right. That's what the first video said. All women just want an average guy that treats them right. Some women would call that a bum.
House clean? Is my house clean? Do you have something when I come in that door? Is there food on the table?
But what's going to stop you from cheating on me if I don't do something like not treat you right, or not like, you know what I'm saying? Like there so many conflicting ideals from the female diaspora in this one episode. It's wild.
Cheating is a choice. Cheating is a choice. Okay, cheating, you are not forced to cheat. It is a choice. So you don't have to cheat. You choose to cheat.
A bum said he don't got to work.
Wait a minute, I don't know about that. I don't know about the work now. Like, if he's trying to get himself together, if he's trying to, you know, like I said, if he lost his job, but what are you doing? Are you doing anything in the house? Are you cooking? Are you cleaning when I come home? Is it because the roles gotta be
for this young lady in the video? The good things he might have been doing.
What was that, Precy? What was that last part you said?
I mean, the roles obviously changing because, you know, I'm out there working.
I thought you said something.
You're in the house cleaning. Are you in? I mean, you're in the house. Are you taking care of the house? Are you cleaning? Are you doing things? Is my food ready? Until you get yourself together, I don't expect for you to just be sitting around not doing anything. Are you looking for work? Are you on the computer trying to find a job?
But see, in this young lady's video, she didn't highlight nothing. She just highlighted what she didn't like about him being a bum.
Because if you fall short, that's the purpose of having a partner, to be there for you. But I expect for you to get back up on your feet and find a job.
Yeah.
Not for me to get things in life. And maybe you lost your job. Maybe everybody got laid off. So I'm going to leave you because you got laid off? No. That's what I'm saying. People don't take relationships serious anymore. They just don't.
I got like the young lady in this video.
Got no job. Oh my God. That's
because honestly, here's the second thing. I would call. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that's just not what relationships about. Now, if I feel like you're using me, like you sitting around, you got Spanky and Martin and Harold in the house with their feet up on my table and you not looking for a job, that's totally different. But if you out there really trying to find something, why wouldn't I stand by you? I don't consider you a bum.
Yeah, but we all know if a guy loses his job, it's a ticking time bomb until y'all leave.
Her titties was all out. I'm not taking no advice for her. Look how she looks on the screen. Breasts
Because
is
that's
all
that was what I
out.
was about to say next. Like
Yeah,
anyone
come on.
anyone that sets up their camera to give you advice, to give the world their advice on what they feel
Look
like
at
everyone else should be doing, I could call that person a narcissist.
But
And
I agree. I
but
agree with
narcissism
her.
is used too loosely these days.
It
No,
very much
but
is
it's
so.
real. That narcissist stuff, oh honey.
But this young lady has very narcissistic tendencies as well, because as you see, she's making the problem in all of her relationships. It sounds like it was everyone else's problem and not hers.
Not
The
her.
first
Yep.
problem was that he was a bum, he was a narcissist, he was
Who you
entitled. None
attracted
of these
to,
problems were hers, though.
And
it's who
we
you
gotta be honest these days. Women saying narcissist is the same equivalent as men talking about women being crazy.
No, men say they've. I've met a couple of guys that have
Whoa.
that said they dealt with
Statistically, narcissistic personality disorder is in less than 10% of the world population.
Damn.
It's usually a rare condition. Usually, sometimes it also gets confused with borderline personality disorder. So when women say narcissistic, maybe the man is just selfish.
No, it's more than that, babe.
Because when we look at it as a diagnosis, it's a small percentage of people. Usually you find more men have it, just like when we look at it, we talk about dark triad traits like narcissistic Machiavellianism and psychopathy. Usually you find those in men, but also those same traits can be used for good. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
But usually when we look at because we see so many videos of women saying this man is a narcissist. There are not that many men that's actual true narcissists or could be diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder.
And
It's the same.
narcissism, just for definition, personality qualifies including very highly, or seeing yourself in a very highly image, needing admiration, believing others are inferior, and lacking empathy for others. Those things are not inherently masculine, I would say.
Yeah.
But
And then when you look at it, when we talk about entitlement is also used too loosely. Because if I could be with somebody and want some level of reciprocation, and I can be seen as entitled.
I think I have the rest of the video. I think I've located the rest of it and see if she says anything else to add to that list that we might disagree with.
And this young lady is unhinged.
Bitches.
I don't.
How you doing? So
Okay, well maybe that's not it. Okay, I thought that was.
You have a video with her having a bra on? Jesus Christ.
Them Jones is like National
none of that
Geographic
crazy
now.
shit. Strap in, bitch.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be a different video, but that's
Strap
not.
in, bitch. Like,
Strap them titties in. I know there's gotta be another part of this video.
and it's like, honestly, such basic ass information. Types of men I stopped dating too. That's literally like saying I stopped drinking spoiled milk and my stomach stopped hurting.
Well, what are y'all red flags?
Honestly, the same things. I don't want a narcissistic woman. I don't want an overly entitled woman. I don't want a bum ass woman.
Right.
My red flags. Let's see here: single moms, feminists.
Cancer.
Let's see here. I usually want somebody more feminine, more traditional, peaceful. My red flag. I want somebody peaceful. So, like, if you just argue a lot, no, hell no.
Uneducation. I hate lack of intelligence.
What would they be arguing about that you have so many women on the side?
I really don't even have women on the side now.
Oh, okay.
I'm kind of like I'm on a self-improvement trip right now. So I'm just kind of self-improving. I want to be a better person, better male. Just trying to elevate.
That's awesome. Can I ask you what? You don't have to tell me your age, but can you tell me 30s, 40s, 50s?
Oh, I'm 41.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. Self-improvement, right?
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. Very important.
Yeah. So I really don't like right now. I have someone I'm kind of dealing with, but I'm just not like anything serious because I'm more focused on me right now.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. No, that's good. So important. I think more people should do that mentally, physically, spiritually, everything.
Yeah.
Because how you gonna get into something and you're not right? You know, everybody needs some type of fixing.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Nobody is perfect. So
If this woman came into any of her relationships lacking of bra like she is right now, that's why she got the kind of energy from the men that she got.
Oh, and she twerked on some of the videos, and she talked about doing an OnlyFans, showing her tits, and then giving therapy sessions.
Wow.
I don't want that. Like that's a person, like that's a red flag for me because you seem as though you need admiration, you need attention, you need interaction from complete strangers, and you don't care how you are representing yourself. So how would you if you don't care about how you represent yourself, I know you're not going to care about how you represent me in a relationship with me.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
We got to think about, since the advent of social media, you find more narcissistic women now since social media.
Because they also want to retain their autonomy of being able to say, well, I can do what I want until you marry. Even married women. We were talking about it on here the other day. Some old basketball player who was never that live. His wife talking about, well, I'm getting the OnlyFans because I want more. My body, my choice. Literally use the excuse of my body, you don't even have the choice to abort anymore. The government took that away from y'all.
Actually,
But
no, they gave it to the states because the only reason they originally had it was due to the 14th Amendment, like the right to privacy using the 14th Amendment.
I like that. So they can abort again.
The states, they have to decide.
It's okay based upon the state. See, before that, before back in my day, you could abort freely. You know what I'm saying?
But I just don't.
Hard to come by.
I just don't think you should abort freely because I mean I get it if you have a health issue, but I think usually abortion is just a way of avoiding accountability. If you're irresponsible sexually, because I think we have this weird thing about sex where we shouldn't talk about sex, but no, we should talk about sex. It's like, don't have sex, but if you're gonna have a sex, wear a condom. It's kind of like you give somebody food. You can look but don't touch but don't taste but don't get full. It's like confusing. And I think we should encourage more healthy conversations around sex.
We should bring back sexual education instead of abstinence. When I was in 7th grade, they taught us abstinence, which I think is a mind fuck, no pun intended, because it's like you're telling me not to have sex until I'm married. But I got some young teachers in this school who the only reason they let us be on our phone is because they be on their phone, and I know they fucking, but they not married. Miss Jones is not married. So I really thought abstinence was like it was a scare tactic. They will always tell us about this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna get pregnant, you're gonna get STDs, you're gonna get sick, and all this is gonna be bad. So you need to wait until you marry. But I always had a thought of, but what if I married the wrong person? Because that shit happens. Like, didn't you get divorced from your husband, Miss Insert teacher's name here? Like you was Mrs. last semester, now you're just Miss. You know, so
or the teacher could be fucking the students.
That happens as well. Like, think about it. We not making movies about that. Hollywood ain't making no movies about that real thing that's happening all the damn time. They're not making no movies about these school shootings that are happening all the damn time. But we want to go back to a tragic era.
I remember. I know of an incident where they just claimed it happened. So we don't know if it's true or not, but they suspected it happened, and the teacher was out. And it was somebody I know. They suspected he was banging the teacher because the girlfriend got mad at it. He dumped the girl. She got mad at him, and the whole deal.
And snitched.
Okay, let's see. I think I may have it this time. Hold on, let me see. Hopefully, this is the video this time.
Listen, as you do.
Fuck that man. Throw him out like the garbage he fucking is. All right, next. One, two, choose struggle. Baby, it's not cute living in the fucking trenches. That shit's raggedy as hell. whatever, rappers. Don't date rappers. They'll cheat on you. No sense of humor. A lot of y'all are not haha funny men, and it shows. Business owners who use their business to solicit coochie. Y'all are an extra level special of weird. Hype beasts obsessed with brands. Please find another hobby. It's very weird, and late stage capitalism is not cute, baby. Did I say insecure? Insecure. They'll tear you down every fucking chance they get because they don't like themselves. All right. Hates his mother. I don't need to explain that. He hates his mom. He definitely fucking hates you, bitch. Unresolved issues with his father. Okay with mediocrity. Resides in their ego. Some of these motherfuckers won't let their ego die, so therefore they won't allow themselves to heal the bullshit that they be perpetuating all the fucking time. Fuck
I know that was rough to listen to. A little echo in the background. Okay, that was a little bit more from her. What do
She's
y'all
not
think?
saying nothing new. Like she's not saying nothing revolutionary. How many times do we need a list of a type of person not to date list? Like how many times do you have to be told to not date someone that hates themselves or to not why do we as black people have to be told to not date someone who lives in a bad area?
Why does it sound like her own list of red flags?
Oh, I'm sure that is her list.
No, I'm
And
saying
it-
like her actual red flags.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it sounds like it's her. Like these are things about herself. Because if you hate, I'm gonna be honest, you have a whole list of things that you hate about men. It sounds like you have unresolved issues with your father because you took the time to make a list and a video about this.
Mhm.
Completely unhinged. You ain't even put a bra on. You had to get this information out to the world. So that's
You crazy.
Because I looked at
She
a red
crazy
flag.
in the right way, the clinical way.
Because I look at a red flag like this. Like, this is something I tell women. She was like, well, I meet this man, and I said, does he have friends? Yeah. How long has he been friends with him? Oh, what? I mean, like, you know how you got dudes, you be like, yo, this is my day one. This is somebody I've been friends like 10 plus years. You got somebody that don't got no friendship over 2 years. That's a red flag. There's something inherently wrong with it. Even you meet people that do business. They don't even do business with guys that don't have friendships. They're like, oh, this is my friend and I know him for this many years. Like as a woman, I would be weird about a guy that can't keep a friendship with another man.
That is also true too.
But honestly, could you say that? Because the rhetoric that I hear women say a lot is they don't like hanging out with other women because so is it like do we also look for that as a red flag in women? In a woman that says I can't hang out with other women? Because I know a lot of women that say I don't like hanging out with women because women be on this. Because I'll be honest, I don't really like hanging around too many dudes because specifically in my age bracket, men haven't reached a level of maturity of which I can really kick it with them and vibe with them on the level that I kick it and vibe with. Because I'm in a relationship. I'm not cheating on my woman. We successfully cohabitate. We have ups, we have downs, but I know where I want to be and I enjoy where I am. It's it like monogamy is fine for me because guess what? I grew up in a situation like just particular to me. I grew up in a situation where that was normal. You know what I'm saying? I saw my parents love each other. I saw my parents argue. You know what I'm saying? I've seen my parents cuss each other the motherfuck out and talk about signing motherfucking papers, but they are still Mr. and Mrs. to this damn day. That's just normal to me. And that's what I grew to want from a partner. Not exactly what my parents had, but I wanted to be able to grow with someone and to mature, like grow with someone into a legacy. And you can't do that by just I knew that I wasn't gonna be able to do that by not wrapping my dick up when I went into these women that I knew that I did not really care about that much and I knew I didn't want to be with for that long. And I paid attention to that by not making myself a lower value man by putting those things on my record that have me locked away for 5, 10, 15 years by working in jobs that have no progression or no level of progression or not the finances that will have me as a broke boy on this list. You know what I'm saying? Because even being a trash man or a bus driver, that's not good enough for the caliber of woman that every person is going to say that they want, for the caliber of person that anyone to say that is their dream person. So those things are particular to me and what I look for in a partner. And is it, you know what I'm saying? Can we say the same thing when we're talking about the opposite sex?
Yeah, I don't deal with women that look at me and say, I don't deal with women. They nasty and stuff. Because I mean, it says a lot about the woman if she can't really have a friend in a woman.
I don't know. They just maybe said there's a lot of bad women.
Because that's the point that I was acknowledging. Like, some women can acknowledge that the reason I don't hang out with a bunch of women myself is shit. I watch Love and Hip Hop. I watch this and that. I get enough drama from the TV show. Why I need to hang out with women in real life for it?
Because I mean, think about it. If you like all of us on a regular regularly, you can meet somebody you connect with, like on a friendship level. If you as a person can't connect with somebody on a friendship level, and you go through life and have the same outcome, fundamentally, that is a you problem.
Maybe I wouldn't say the same thing with guys because I don't hang out with a lot of guys.
But I mean, when you
the friends that I have,
men, we're not set up that way.
I grew up with the same ones I grew up with from elementary on up is the same friends I have now.
I mean, when you
small circle, because I judge what is a friend on a very high requirement.
Yeah, and I mean, like for a friend,
Yes.
everybody ain't a friend.
No.
Yeah.
That's one of the realest things.
Women are a lot more social than men, I would say.
Yeah,
I will agree with that.
Yeah, but I don't hang with a lot of women either. I have a small.
Mhm. Yeah.
I don't deal with all that drama and they walk away and talking about you and then they, hey girl, I don't do that.
Especially when you get older too.
Yeah, when you get older, you just have
you
a small group and that's it.
Mhm. Yeah.
You don't want to deal with all of that. And not everybody is a friend.
But I will agree with you in the sense that anyone that says that I don't hang out with people because it's always everyone else that is bringing negativity towards me, that would make me feel like, is it like, because if you think everyone is so damn negative, like why are you trying to interact with me then?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Be careful of people who talk about, and they come and they tell you a dog bring a bone and they'll carry it back. So, I had to see that, many, many years ago. And I don't hang out with a lot of people. I just don't. And it's not to be antisocial. And I probably was called antisocial, but people are not real today, So I like to hang out with positive people that want to grow and want things in life.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, spiritually, you have to be careful who you call your friends because not everybody's a friend. You can know somebody for 30 years and they're not really your friends.
Yeah.
People hang around you for certain reasons and for certain things. Like you had to learn, you can't just be with me for the sunshine. When it rains, I need you too.
That's the part right there. See,
when they're not around, you'll know who your friends are. When you need you and and it's not nothing financially, but just somebody that, because everybody has their problems, everybody's going through something. But when that friend is there and they're going through stuff, but they drop stuff to be with you and they know what you're going through, that's a friend. And a lot of people think, oh, I got this clique, I got this. I guarantee in a group of 10, 7 of them don't like you. They just there. They just around you for whatever you bring.
Yeah.
That is an interesting take, and I agree with what you're saying. Most of the time, the new people you meet later on in life, they don't get to see the bad things that may have happened with you until maybe later on down the road, and same, but vice versa.
Yeah.
What I just thought about in my head, and this is why I say I think marriage has been kind of misconstrued as friendship and all about love. You don't ever get to see that with the person you marry either for a long time. But people will say, that's my best friend. She's been with me through thick and thin, but you ain't been through thick and thin yet. You won't know if that person's going to stay with you for the long term until you actually go through it. Can you actually? And that's why I said a lot of times I'll say, well, marriage was never really just intended for people who just love each other. There was other purposes behind it too. A lot of people will just say, well, this is because I love the guy, or it's because he's my best friend. Sometimes you never know that until you go through it. A lot of people don't go through it in the first year or two that they are together, get engaged, and didn't get married. Can you call that person your friend until you actually go through some trials and tribulations?
We think
right.
the little shit we go through on social media. Like we have social media trials and tribulations. We literally have our trial and tribulation is why you not why you not liking my pictures? I just posted something. Why you not liking them? Why did you like that girl's pictures? Why is this nigga leaving heart eyes underneath your shit? You know what I'm saying? These are our trials and tribulations that we will literally walk away from each other over and then come back like, yeah, we really been through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? That those 3 weeks where you know what I'm saying we weren't together really did a number on me. When it's like what happened was y'all just don't need to be together for real.
You know, the other thing, one of the other things about marriage is like when we talk about going through tough times, I think a lot of times we just don't even really look at a person and be like, this person, this is their personality. Am I willing to deal with it? Because one of the biggest problems is we sit there and try to change the person. Just really look at them. Can I live my rest of my life with this person as they are now?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like, yeah, she's loud, she's obnoxious, or he's loud, he's obnoxious. He farts in his sleep, like whatever. Like, can I deal with that for the rest of my life?
Get off.
If he cheats on me, stuff like that. Are you willing to do that?
And that's the thing. Some people will say they're willing to put up with it in terms of what they get.
Right. Right.
Dr. Dre's wife put up with him being abusive and unfaithful for damn near 30 years because she knew she was about to get broke the hell off. Cassie put up with what?
Okay. Ungodly stuff. We ain't even got enough time to name everything she went through, allegedly, anyway.
That I can't even speak of in my sacrilegious ways. Butt stuff, sodomizing, getting sodomized.
But, you know, as a thing that Preezy says a lot of times, they probably more likely did not see the value of themselves. So they were willing to go through. It doesn't just happen in marriage. It happens people who go to work every day. They're willing to suffer through such atrocities for what they call the greater good, money, protection, or what's at least what they call protection in their eyes. So a lot of people will go through that. And a lot of people will accept any kind of relationship. I don't know if that's Cardi B's issue, but a lot of people will accept any kind of relationship instead of a good one because they feel like that's the only one they can get.
What did Toni Braxton say in her song? She said, if you can't love the one you want, love the one you're with.
That sounds like there's some regret when I hear that. Like
that sounds like
settling. Ain't her life sad a little bit too?
Like, she went baby.
There was a rumor that she married Birdman. I don't think it's true. There was a rumor.
Yeah, she said she didn't. She said
terrible, but a lot of people have been linked to Birdman. Keisha Cole used to date Birdman, allegedly. Something happened with that.
Dang, her too.
Yeah, like that was it's weird. I ain't even know Birdman like women.
Man, put some respect on his name. All three of y'all.
I never, man. That man is shorter than me, and he kisses men. And not to say there's anything wrong. If you love to kiss men, I fully support the LGBTQURSTUV.
Don't
just
get us
gotta say that before.
Let's go. Last story before we sign off today. Not much of a story.
It's really not. I'd hate that this girl is the fact that Krishan is too young for me to even give a fuck about. Oh man.
See, I just got
Blueface had one song for real.
I only knew that because you told me that song.
He had one song, Bust Down Tatiana. And it was really only hot for like the summer. It's not like it won song of the year. It's not like he's a lyrical wordsmith. And he's honestly famous for being trash because he's never on beat. Like he's not even a good rapper. It's not even like how Jada, Lil Babies, and his level of good is varies. It depends on your age bracket. But yeah, he's not even a good rapper that it's like you understand why people care about his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like
So
he's really,
Blueface is like a modern Silk the Shocker.
even Silk the Shocker had a pretty decent film career in Hot Boys.
What?
Hot Boys, they on fire.
Decent film career? Can we put decent on there? Can we? Come on. Let's not
He
say
did
It's
92
decent,
movies.
as in I would give it a D in a grade.
that's decent.
That's decent for
It's
a
just-
Master P film. It was bad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You said the bars are low. I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
if I'm weighing it up against I Got the Hook Up too. What's another Percy's what's the one he got with the kids? Percy's House or Percy Daycare?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Weighing it up, it's way better than the Romeo Show. I'll tell you that much.
Wow, that's not saying a lot. All
But
right,
I think peak at the time was more about quantity over quality. It's just if you got enough content out there, people gonna deal with it.
And I slightly dislike Master P because rap snacks are just the most. I hate looking at white people look at rap snacks when they walk in the store because they look at it with such. Oh my God! Look at these, honey. Look at what they're doing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yo, how many women are gonna tattoo a toxic man's face on their face?
Turn the music off on that one.
It's really sick.
How many times is this gonna happen? Because didn't Summer Walker do this shit?
She got a tattoo on her face.
Yeah, Summer Walker got a tattoo on her face. I want to say of London on the Track.
Mental illness.
I want to say she got his name or some shit.
And then I saw today there's a chick that got a tattoo of Antonio Brown on her face.
I don't even know the fuck Antonio Brown is. Football player? Sound like a
Yeah.
football player. Okay.
Yeah.
So sad.
How did I know? How did I know?
So, Breezy,
else do you
who
have?
would you get a tattoo on your face of?
Oh, nobody.
Nobody.
That is some sick stuff right there.
This is so ugly. Like, why would you want to be somebody
Why
mama
won't you
with
put
somebody's
man
face
on
on
your-
your face? You shouldn't be allowed to be nobody mama with this.
Would you put that man's face on your face? Come on now. This is
And
sick,
you-
bro.
and you
Then
can't
the
say-
girlfriend put it on her butt.
How you get a his face
You can hide
tattoo
that
and
one.
you got a tattoo of his face on your face and you already had tattoos on your face?
Oh, it's so sick, man.
At least you can hide the one on your butt. You got to go everywhere with that. So I hope whatever she's doing for the rest of her life, she succeeds because
All
Like that.
I know is
Yeah.
the only valid tattoo is like if I'm with a chick and she said I want to get a tattoo of you, I'll be like, look, just put a tattoo of Andrews above your vagina.
I
she
really
has to keep
don't
it
want
shaved.
I don't want to flame this little girl because she is like I just I don't get why who the fuck be following her around with the camera?
Oh, you know,
She's not even with him, right?
she's okay. Well, I'm glad you said that, Breezy, because there's another video I got to share. Apparently, yes, they are. They have worked it out and said that she is back with him. I'm trying to get this thing to pull up, but apparently now they're back together. They said they
And
want to
again,
talk
like this,
about it, and now they want to work on things. Let's see, let me pop that back up right quick.
you know who Krishan Rock's biggest supporters are? Women. You know who her boyfriend / baby daddy is? A bum ass, rapper ass, shisty businessman ass, gang banging ass, bunch of baby mama ass, not gonna leave the hood ass. I treat women bad ass person, but this is who she is choosing to be with.
Krishan Rock finally answers why did she get the blue face tattoo?
Why you get that man tattooed on your face? Because
Look at the comments.
we
Look
back
at this.
together. I want him to feel like he's with some. I want to make him feel like he got somebody on the outside just popping it for him. You feel me?
Can I be a
Somebody need to
moderator?
rep his name, and it's gonna be me. And it's always gonna be me, and it's only gonna be me. Cause you just dried up You just not. You what?
Showing
All
off
the
to say
things he
stop using
fucked up and
Jesus' name
did,
in
bro.
vain.
He said sorry, made up for that shit. So our best in life, like our best is life. We came back because it's for real this time. You take a leak? He laughing.
Yeah, that's the one you got to worry about. It's the kid that's involved in this and who's gonna grow up through this.
The
Why
two
is no
goofies are
one?
perfect for each other.
You know what? I saw a clip of someone or this dude talking about how CPS, how from a TikTok video, his kids got taken. Like the people that saw the TikTok video called CPS and had his children taken. Why is nobody calling CPS and having Krishan Rock's child taken?
I think
Because
they
they ain't said
tried
nothing
to.
controversial.
Actually, she did something, and I think Blueface did something, sharing a
You know,
picture of their kid naked, a baby naked, or something like that. And a lot of people were like, "Yeah, you need to call CPS or whatever like that." But I don't know. I don't know.
nobody should even have been on her live. Like again, like like to these people, to someone as sick as Krishan, even though you're popping up on her live to call her stupid or whatever, you're still popping up on her live. Even if you retweet this with a negative caption above it, you retweeted it. So to the algorithm, I'm up. I'm popping, I'm trending. I'm getting what I want right now. I'm literally being admired for my narcissistic tendencies to show off my poor decision making skills when it comes to when it comes to partner choosing. And yeah, it's the saddest thing that a baby, another life, is brought into this world with these kinds of parents. Like Blueface and Krishan are literally the perfect representation of the worst aspects of millennials as parents.
Yeah, but see, this comes back to what we were talking about earlier. This is what they show of us. This is the majority of the things of our image that they show on TV. And I wish actually they wouldn't show it at all, balanced or not. I wish they didn't even show stuff like this.
You
Unless it
can't
was
tell me Blueface don't have a great great grandfather that is probably just like Mister. You can't like because again, why does a man like why does a young boy like Blueface end up like that today if these movies and these representations are only from a certain time frame from a certain area?
Well, a lot of that's been enabled because a lot of their fans, and I'll say probably a lot of the fans for Krishan, have enabled her by saying he made her that way. He made her crazy. Not giving her any kind of credit that she did this stuff on her own.
Yeah, because he
made
raps
her-
about the kind of person that he is. So it's like, what attracted you to him in the first place? The fact that
Toxicity.
he be rapping about bust down Tatianas.
relation, because a lot of people will also say because the person looks relatable, that makes it positive for them.
And he was a terrible rapper. It's not even like I can understand you wanting to fuck with
A lot of
Nas,
them are.
or you wanting to fuck with like J. Cole. Good rappers. But you wanting to fuck with a motherfucker who gets made fun of for never being on beat. And she meets him in a situation of I'm bringing you into a house with a whole bunch of other women that want to fuck with me is also in this house. And you got to compete with these women for my affection. Yeah,
J.
welcome
Cole's
to
too high
Blueface,
vibrational
baby.
for her.
Like literally putting you into a situation where you have to compete against other women just for my undivided attention. Kind of, maybe.
It's just toxic.
Yeah, and like I said, I think a lot of the issue too is, and that's why Sexy Red, a lot of the rappers you see, what was it, Glorilla, that ones we would not say have talent, it's relatability. It's the reason why you don't have the Michael Jacksons like that. Well, there's only one Michael Jackson, but you don't have another Usher. You know, Usher is in his 40s now, but you don't have anybody backing up from him. You don't have another Chris Brown. You just have these non-talented people. It's the age of relatability. It's not even about talent anymore. And it's the same thing with relationships. No one is trying to upgrade in relationships. They're trying to find someone who they relate to when they're in the doldrums of society.
But when you think about it, it's not that talent's valid. It's just I think we switched up the model for what we would consider somebody as for art. Because when we think about it now, the record labels don't even sign nobody unless they have a big social media following.
And but that goes with what I'm saying.
Yeah, that goes to what you're saying. Yeah, that goes to what you're saying. But then
Because
also
someone's got to interact with that to make it popular. Blueface
also,
only
we
got
don't-
signed by his record label because somebody saw that. Because we first saw value for some reason in this terrible. Well, his haircut trash, and just listen to a Blueface record. Him and the Beat are the biggest of adversaries because they do not catch each other at all.
And we don't really support real talent.
No,
there's a lot of real talent out here. It's just we refuse to support it.
Yeah,
we like outrageous shit. Oh, that was so crazy! Oh my god! Oh my god!
All right, let's wrap it up. We got to get out of here. Let's go with the deepest thought for today. Let's see what the deepest thought is for today.
Wait, play that again.
I mean, it was just the angle. It was just the angle, and she got one of them foreheads. She got one of them foreheads. She got one of them. I like to call it a 4-dimensional head.
That head bigger than 4. You gonna have put that.
That's
time.
a helipad. That's a helipad.
That shit in 4K.
Yeah, that's the that's the place where Jay-Z lands his stuff. Not the airport, but the Clearport.
Yep.
That's it. That's all. She just got a protruding scullular protraction.
That's a horn. That ain't a skull at that point.
Hold up. Since you said it's the Clearport, you can have an airplane landed and then play that Jay-Z song, show you how to do this.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. This has been Hostile Therapy with Big Red for Thursday. Coming back on again was LT Lord Trent, Andrew Greenfield, and Preezy of Listen Up, Listen In podcast. Check it out on Podbean.
Yes.
Definitely check her out. And we're going to end the show here. We got enough Hostile Therapy, not because we wanted it, but because we needed it. And we will be off next week, but then we'll be back on Thursday after that. So we're going to take some time off and go get some other therapy so we can actually do this show.
Yes.
But also to announce that next show that we do have will be the premiere of the 6th season of the show. So it's going to be some changes the next show we have. It's going to be some nice changes to make the show more productive and more entertaining, I would say. But I can't wait for it. Can't wait to see the new background and the new things we're going to roll out the next show. So appreciate the people that have been rocking with us. We will see you on the next show.
Yes. Have a good night, fellas.
Have a good night.
Free Palestine, Roman.